America's First News.
Tune in every Saturday afternoon at 3 for the Money Hour Radio, brought to you by Pierre Shale Financial Group. Learn estate and tax planning strategies, choosing the right IRA, and the ever-important decision when to take Social Security benefits. When you have retirement in sight, sound decisions are critical. Tune in to the Money Hour Radio every Saturday afternoon at 3, right here on AM 560, brought to you by Pierre Shale Financial Group.
Advisor services offered through Pierre Shale Financial Group Incorporated. Pierre Shale Financial Group Incorporated is a registered independent investment advisor.
Military Resource Radio is your one-stop shop for in-depth interviews with some of our nation's top military brass. And you can hear it right here on AM 560, The Answer, every Sunday morning at 9, sponsored by BBMC Mortgage. Military Resource Radio also has the latest on VA home loans, VA benefits, mortgage information, and a little bit about everything. Military Resource Radio, Sunday mornings at 9 on AM 560, The Answer.
What's happening? What does it mean? Why is it important? We've got the answer. AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony.
We begin a new chapter tonight.
Hillary Clinton making history.
Standing here as my mother's daughter and my daughter's mother, I'm so happy this day has come.
The first woman to become a major party's presidential nominee.
I know that at a time when so much seems to be pulling us apart, it can be hard to imagine how we'll ever pull together.
But Clinton closed out the Democratic National Convention saying progress is possible.
Don't believe anyone who says, I alone can fix it.
She took a lot of shots at rival Donald Trump.
He wants to divide us from the rest of the world and from each other.
Clinton says she has a strategy to defeat ISIS, and on the economy, she'd pass the biggest investment in good-paying jobs since World War II, and
Bernie Sanders and I will work together to make college tuition free for the middle class and debt-free for all.
But some Sanders supporters still aren't on board.
There were sporadic shouting matches last night as she approached the stage, the ripping up of some competing signs still. And when Clinton finally emerged on stage, a small chorus of boos erupted before it was overcome by a larger ovation for her.
Fox's Doug McKelway in Philadelphia. Clinton and running mate Tim Kaine will next go on a bus tour through Pennsylvania and Ohio. Donald Trump will rally in Colorado today, while in Iowa, he shrugged off all the Democratic attacks.
I am getting hit, and they don't mean it, and there's a lot of lies being told, but I guess they have to do their thing.
2 police officers shot in San Diego.
Use caution into the area. We do not know where the shots are coming from. The 99, 2 officers down.
It happened late last night. The police scanner audio from Broadcastify.
Can we just grab the officer, throw him in a car, and take him straight to the hospital?
San Diego police would not give the officers conditions, tweeting, "Keep them in your prayers." A suspect is reportedly in custody. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
We have gray skies this morning, a little bit of light fog reported, especially in the western suburbs and spots in northwest Indiana. 70 degrees at 5:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. Lottery officials in neighboring Indiana say someone has come forward with a winning ticket for this month's $536 million Mega Millions jackpot. Hoosier Lottery has scheduled a news conference for later this morning. The ticket likely sold at a gas station along I-70 in Cambridge City, about 50 miles east of Indianapolis. Start checking your glove box. Person is dead, another hurt following 2 separate police shootings on Chicago's south side. Authorities say the first incident happened near Marquette Road in May last night when officers opened fire at a robbery suspect believed to be holding a weapon. Meantime, less than an hour later at 74th and Merrill, officials say a person was shot and killed by police trying to flee from a traffic stop in a vehicle that was stolen from Bolingbrook. A woman fighting for her life struck by lightning in Bolingbrook. Police say the incident happened yesterday while the victim was walking in the 300 block of Janes Avenue. She remains hospitalized in serious condition after suffering burns. An inmate is recovering following a hostage situation at the Cook County Jail. 2 inmates held another hostage yesterday with a sharp object in a maximum security tier of that jail. The situation was resolved several hours later. Fire at a Northern Illinois propane gas business forced the evacuation of the area around that facility and attracted crews from 30 suburban Chicago fire departments at Pinnacle Propane. Search is underway this morning to find a private company to take over the Illinois lottery. Governor Runner announcing yesterday that the state will seek bids for a firm to take over the program. He wants a new contractor that can expand the lottery's online presence and better market the games. And yes, Hollywood actor Harrison Ford, the Maine East grad, uses a checklist when he flies. The Star Wars and Indiana Jones actor was accompanied by an inquisitive teen yesterday when he flew his de Havilland Beaver at the AirVenture Oshkosh EAA Air Show. His passenger, 16-year-old Joni Gothrop of Westchester, won that flight in a national contest through the Flying Young Eagle program that for many years was headed by Harrison Ford. Cubs over the White Sox 3-1. Chris Sale threw 6 effective innings, but it was John Lackey who allowed 1 run over 6, who gets his first win since June 8. The news, a service of Burger King's Grilled Dogs. Where are you going to get that delicious grilled hot dog? Your backyard? Nope. Burger King. Burger King Grilled Dogs made with 100% beef, flame grilled to perfection. Pick up a grilled dog today at participating Burger King restaurants. Flame grilling hot dogs since 2016. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Marxists, socialists, and communists forget the government doesn't have any money.
The Dave Ramsey Show.
Except money it took from someone who is producing money. Government creates no money. The only way the government has money is if it took it from one of us. And so the only way that it would have money to give these people is if it took more from the other people. Thus, Marxism, communism.
Dave Ramsey, weeknights starting at 7. Presented by Wintrust Community Bank on AM 560. The Answer.
On AM 560, The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Policy Institute, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
5:06, let's get an update on the roads this early morning in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. On the Adams Tollway eastbound, earlier roadwork delays are dissipating now after there was some work northwest Chicago around Barrington Road, but now traffic is moving pretty well in that area. Still have a little work wrapping up on the Kennedy. The express lane should be opening inbound fairly soon. No delays to report on the Kennedy. The Edens is fine. Same goes for the Eisenhower and the Stevenson. Still some work on the outbound Ryan from Garfield to Skyway. 2 left lanes are closed in the locals, so trucks are allowed to use the express. Other expressways and tollways are good. In Whiting, 119th is now closed between Indianapolis Boulevard and Front Street for Pierogi Fest this weekend. Traffic is a service of CC's Pizza. Can you believe it? CC's now has 3 stuffed crust pizzas. Original pepperoni, new pretzel, and new bacon stuffed. Try them all on your other CC's favorites, just $5 and change. The CC's buffet just got better. Believe it. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Let's get the latest with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, intervals of clouds and sunshine with a shower or thunderstorm in the area. High 76. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a shower or thunderstorm around low 65. More clouds than sun tomorrow, high 76. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
70 at O'Hare, 71 along the lakefront, 72 at Midway. Next news at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services, helping you secure your financial future today. Visit kellyfinancialservicesinc.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I want to start off by thanking Carlos from the Dunkin' Donuts there at Elston and Addison for the consolation coffee this morning.
Yeah, he thought it'd be a rough morning for you, so he decided to throw you a cup of joe.
You know, I'll tell you what, throughout the years, Carlos has always been there for me, unlike Chris Sale.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Oh, I found out some juice yesterday. You ready for this?
Some juice?
Some juicy details. I call it juice.
Yeah.
Okay, it's real.
You're so street.
It is. You know what? I'm down with the movement. He didn't rip up just his uniform. He ripped up everybody's uniform.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, he ripped up uniforms. plural.
No. Every single, he went on a terror. Get it? Terror? Like tearing up. He grabbed scissors.
Thanks for explaining.
And just started cutting away because he wanted to make sure. He didn't like him because there was a collar attached. And that was going to affect his game, so he went little cuckoo for coup.
If it's good enough for Chester Lemon, Chris Sale, then it's good enough for you.
Yeah, but he didn't perform so well last night. Sorry. Yeah. Final score is 3-1.
What a
They rocked him, and every time they had a meeting on the mound, and they're going to talk about what they're going to do after the game, just to break up the momentum, see if he can get back in the game. Everyone was yelling,
nobody breaks down
your uniform.
Nobody breaks down the game like you do. Really?
I know, and I'm not even charging you for this.
Yeah.
Everybody in the stands was just yelling, "You don't like your uniform? Oh, your uniform too tight, Chris Sale." It was fun. It was good.
That's
good
the
old
quality.
Family fun.
That's the quality of jeering at Wrigley Field. Now, on the flip side, on the south side, the jeering usually involves the threatening of people's lives. So it's taken a little bit more seriously at Comiskey.
It's just funny when you get the two sides together. It's
an unsatisfying series. It's an unsatisfying series because it's a wash.
A wash.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously the Sox maintain their historic lead over the Cubs, which they'll never lose. 57-51.
No, 56-51.
I think it's 57-51.
Well, the other day when they won, you told me it's 56-50.
I think I misspoke. I think it was 57-50 after they won the second game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 57-51.
Or it was 57-49, excuse me, after they won the second game, then 57-50, now 57-51.
Okay, 57-51.
Yeah.
All right.
But here's the thing. There's an opportunity to satisfy this, to break the tie in the World Series. Oh, that's right. The only problem is
you're not going to get there.
The Sox will be there against the Nationals. And so the Nationals will have to be a proxy for the Cubs.
No. Cubs are 6.5 games ahead of St. Louis. So I think we're pretty good. I think we're going to be okay, Dan. I'm sorry to say. But maybe you guys could get your game. Now you're 500. Oh, no, now you're below 500.
I'm going to cede my rejoinders to your trash talking to Greg from LaGrange.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hey, Greg.
That's pretty interesting. Amy comes up with that little bit of news about Chris Sale that was known almost immediately.
Right.
But
yes.
I don't hear her saying anything about Chapman, a guy that pulled a gun and discharged it on his pregnant wife.
It was his baby mama.
Tribune runs a nice little story about how Epstein and Ricketts talked to Chapman beforehand, and when Chapman was asked about the talk, he said it never happened.
No, that was lost in translation.
Hypocrisy.
He's cubano. He habla español. Now, Greg, if Tim Kaine had been in charge of the conversation between the Ricketts, Theo Epstein, and Chapman, maybe it would have been different. But Chapman, they did have a conversation.
Why Tim Kaine?
Tim Kaine speaks Spanish.
Oh.
Hello?
I forgot. Has he mentioned that?
I don't know if you know this, but son hablan español.
Yeah. Me llamo Tim Kaine.
But then once, once it was properly translated to him, he said, "Oh, yes, we talked about character. My character." And it wasn't his wife, it was his baby mama. They're still together. I'm pulling for them. I hope that they make it.
So that's okay then if it's his baby mama, is not his wife?
No, I shouldn't even.
What about
Why
that?
am I laughing
What about that? What about?
I
mean, you're somebody that demands that people hew the line of moral character and the moral turpitude exhibited by one Aroldis Chapman.
Love moral turpitude. I mean, really. When I wake up in the morning, I strive for moral turpitude.
Well, you're achieving it by defending Aroldis Chapman.
Well, You know what? He's so great, though. Did you see what's...
Oh, he can throw a ball fast, so it's okay
what's
to
his name from the White Sox?
terrorize your...
Mickey Cabrera.
Melky?
Melky Cabrera.
Not to be confused by with Mookie Wilson.
Exactly. Melky Cabrera, when he was up at the plate and Chapman was throwing last night, he started laughing and shaking his head and just smiling like, this is almost impossible to hit. So, yes, that's why they let the incident go, said that he learned from it because he throws 100 to 106 miles per hour. That's why.
Boy, this just in. Aroldis Chapman throws fast. Amy Jacobson, Sports Beat. By the way, do not also confuse Melky Cabrera with Mookie Blaylock.
Oh, that's okay.
Don't make those
Wait, did you see?
mistakes.
Did you watch the game? I mean, he was chuckling because he was throwing such heat in there over the plate that he was laughing. Now, more sports talk with me on my podcast.
Yeah.
That I'm going to start.
Such heat, you say. Yeah.
Coming up, Chapman throws the heat over the plate. And did you see it? Thank you.
Jerry on the north side.
Yes, I understand what that baseball player did when he tore up all those uniforms. And I'm sure you'll understand this. You know, many women, when they're divorcing a husband and he goes to work, and what she does is she tears up all his clothes. And then when he comes home, the clothes are gone, and of course she's gone, and of course he's been served with the papers. So this guy probably is going through something similar. It makes sense to me. I don't know about you, but
wow,
he's the ultimate diva.
I thought I'd help you solve the problem.
Thanks for the call, Jay. That is a deep dig on Chris Sale's life. By the way, do not confuse Melky Cabrera with Milky Chance, the reggae singer. We got that figured out. I want to, before we get to...
Did they make him pay for the uniforms, by the way? I mean, after he had his diva temper tantrum, did they say, okay, now that you destroyed our property, we're going to take that out of your salary?
I think much like the cell that will be financed by taxpayers. Chris Sale's going to get a bailout from taxpayers to keep him here, just like we had to pay for that stadium to keep the White Sox.
Do you think he's seen
here.
a psychiatrist about his anger issues?
Maybe he can get a twofer with Aroldis Chapman.
Stop it.
Hi-yo. Before we get to Screw Tape closing the show at the DNC.
Wow.
Hi-yo. It's 2 hi-yos in a row.
I know.
It's a lot of hi-yos.
It's very aggressive for 5 in the morning.
It really is. This breaking news overnight, Mike Scott had it, of course, but 2 San Diego police officers shot last night. One suspect in custody. This is Fox News reporting. No immediate word on the circumstance surrounding the violence, which occurred at about 11 p.m. San Diego time, so 1 o'clock in the morning here.
Are they going to be okay?
I don't know. The description is they were wounded. Okay. Were taken to the hospital, condition unknown. So we'll update the story, as obviously Mike Scott will, throughout the morning as we get more details on this. And just a related story, Somerville, Massachusetts. Police officers protesting. They're protesting a sign that was put up by the mayor of Somerville, Massachusetts, a Black Lives Matter sign with the City of Somerville Police Department emblem on it.
Ooh.
Essentially a show of solidarity between the police and the village government of Somerville, Massachusetts, except the police aren't on board. The rally, they're having a rally, will be peaceful and respectful, but will demonstrate the solidarity of police organizations in Massachusetts to the exclusionary message that the banner sends, said Officer Mike McGrath, Somerville Police Employees Association president. That rally happened yesterday evening. So this is spreading not just to big cities, but to hamlets like Somerville, Massachusetts as well, and we'll keep you updated on the condition of those officers in San Diego.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Today, partly sunny skies.
This just came over. At least one of the 2 San Diego police officers involved in that shooting has died.
Oh,
Fox News reporting.
Okay.
The other's in surgery.
Well, here's your forecast for today. Of course, their thoughts are in our prayers. Partly sunny today, not as warm, with a shower or thunderstorm in the area. High of 76 degrees, but you can feel the humidity. And Saturday, more clouds than sun, a high of 76. And Sunday looks pretty good. Partly sunny skies, a high near 80 degrees. Let's get those travel times. How's the Jane Addams doing? Here's Jim Talamonte with the answer.
Morning, Amy and Dan. Things have improved on the Adams Tollway. The roadwork delays are gone. Overnight work has cleared on the eastbound side. There's some new work now westbound. Bartlett Road to 25 on the right lane. That's scheduled till 2 p.m. That and the other tollways are now delay-free. The Edens is cleared. No problems to report on the Kennedy. Express lanes have been closed for overnight maintenance. They should be opening soon inbound. No delays to report on the Eisenhower, the Stevenson, and the Rhine, and the other expressways and tollways. Just a few flight delays at O'Hare with fog this morning. Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
Is overseas uncertainty making a dent in your portfolio? Is your bank telling you that everything's going to be okay? You don't need to feel like your finances are spiraling out of control. It's time to take a different approach. With Online Trading Academy, they'll teach you how to navigate the stock market during these changing times and prepare you for future market fluctuations. Online Trading Academy certified instructors teach you a rules-based strategy where you'll trade on knowledge, not speculation, so you'll be able to identify market changes before they happen. Reserve your seat today for a free half-day training course at their state-of-the-art education facility in Lombard. Call now, 877-682-2442. Mention AM560, and you'll get a free home video study course valued at $247. Call now, 877-682-2442.
You always listen to AM 560, The Answer. You've heard all about Turnkey IT, Chicagoland's leading IT service provider for small business. Turnkey provides world-class support and customizable plans for businesses with 5 to 100 users. And with some of Turnkey IT's programs, you get all new equipment, free security, and antivirus protection. Sound great? Then why haven't you called Turnkey IT? There's really no excuse. Turnkey IT is setting you up with their best offer yet. Through the summer, all AM 560 listeners receive their first month of service for just $1. Your business will receive comprehensive coverage, including unlimited help desk and online support, network hosting, and antivirus protection its first contracted month for just $1. Ready to make the switch? It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro now. That's turnkey.pro. And tell them AM560 The Answer sent you. Get ready to focus on the important things of your business and leave the technical stuff to the pros. Visit turnkey.pro today.
AM560 The Answer. AM560 The Answer.
Dan and Amy, you know who that is.
This
right?
is Milky
Chance. Yeah. Not Melky Cabrera. Nor
Who
Mookie
I saw
Wilson.
laughing at the plate last night because Chapman was throwing the heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
More sports talk with Amy Jacobson.
Yeah. Make sure you pat down Aroldis Chapman before he goes to the mound.
Hey. He had to go through the metal detectors like everybody else.
Text from Steve on 88. Whoever programmed that robot last night must have watched Ex Machina because it looked almost human. Of course, he's talking about Chelsea Clinton. No. No.
She was good.
No, she's a lovely young woman.
She is. Oh. Why are you rolling your eyes?
You know why Ivanka hangs out with her, don't you?
So that Ivanka can feel better about herself? So she could be the pretty one of the two? They're best friends, you know that. And they've put their friendship on hold. Well, they put their play dates on hold with their kids during this presidential period.
Yeah. Well, Hillary closed the show last night. Spoke for about 25 minutes fewer than Donald Trump, which was still about 25 minutes too long. But
by the way, he's sleeping. Don't wake him up. I was going to text you. Shh. Bill Clinton taking a little nappy noopy. Your baby, don't wake the baby. He seems ill. I mean, honestly, joking aside, he's not right because when he's focused a little bit, his mouth is open as if he's trying to gain knowledge through his mouth somehow, and then he falls asleep. He's narcoleptic. I mean, he might be sick. Well, he might not be here much longer.
Golly, jeez, what a downer. He's a little tuckered out from 4 days of excitement in Philadelphia.
I mean, who took him back to the home for his Jell-O? I mean, my goodness.
You know what?
He was worse than Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
You know what would perk him up?
It's his wife, for goodness sake. She's making history. Wake up, Billy.
You know what?
Jeez.
What would perk him up is
a hit with my cane.
No, set him up in one of the suites and let him watch the Police Academy movies because we learned those are his favorites from his daughter.
She took a little time to replenish her spirits, Family movie nights definitely helped. Dad, as all of you now know, liked Police Academy. My mom and I loved Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, sure.
Oh, sure.
Jane Austen, because they're so sophisticated and intellectual, and Dad's just a hillbilly. She's a backwater hillbilly who likes Steve Gutenberg. Real nice, Chelsea. He's sleeping.
Shh, don't wake your daddy.
Hillary started her speech.
Was he still sleeping?
Really enjoy baby talk. Does that annoy Peyton and Eli that you still baby talk them in their
Mom,
late teens?
stop calling me Boo Bear.
Oh,
I know. It's
gross.
bad. Okay, just stop.
Ugh.
What?
Peyton
It's my
and Eli.
kids.
Sorry.
My babies. My little baby Boo Bear.
Well, Hillary started by talking about her Boo Bear, picking up on the conversation that Bill, a boy meets a girl in the law library in 1971, and
it's not so.
Yeah, this felt
sweet, is it?
This felt a little forced to me.
And Bill, that conversation we started in the law library 45 years ago. It is still going strong.
And the crowd saves her because it's so uncomfortable and everybody knows that it's a little bit of a stretch that they started chanting Hillary.
Bill, that conversation we started in the law library going strong.
It does not compute.
That's right. She then added as an aside, most people didn't hear this, I should have married Michael Medved. Did you hear that? Did you catch that?
Because they used to date, right?
No. No, they went to Yale Law School at the same time. They used to date. I'd like to, on behalf of the Salem family, I'd like to apologize to Michael Medved for that character assassination. Prosecuted
Hillary
by
Clinton at one
Amy
point in time
Jacobson.
was a Republican, okay?
Not by the time she got to Yale.
I know,
She had been to
flaming
Wellesley.
liberal.
She had been at Wellesley for 4 years.
No, she was brainwashed.
Oh my God.
But she started out at Maine East, transferred to Maine South as a Republican, was in some young Republican group.
And here was Hillary's summation. I mean, she peppered her hour-long speech with little shots at Donald Trump. Some I thought were effective. Here was a kind of a summation, just about a sixth of the way through, pretty early on, to kind of present her case in chief against Donald Trump, which, of course, is her best argument.
Well, we heard Donald Trump's answer last week at his convention. He wants to divide us from the rest of the world and from each other. He's betting that the perils of today's world will blind us to its unlimited promise. He's taken the Republican Party a long way, from morning in America to midnight in America.
Mm-hmm.
I like when she attacked him on his tweets. I just love that.
And meanwhile, there were microbursts of Trump's tweets throughout her speech.
Oh, yeah, and she knew that, and she lured him in.
20 years ago, I wrote a book called It Takes a Village.
And that's not it.
It is with humility, determination, and boundless confidence in America's promise that I accept your nomination for President of the United States.
You get a car. You get a car.
Where was Howard Dean with the screen?
Oh, are you working on that?
Rawr.
Oh, my God. Dan, if you ever get attacked, you're going to have to come up with a better roar for help, like a cry. Can you go deep within and go, roar, woo? Can you do a cowboy yell?
If I get attacked, the attacker is going to have to come up with that yell. Peggy Noonan had a good she had a good observation about Hillary's speech, which was, a bit tinny, but that's Hillary. This is not her forte, if that was not clear from a rather pedestrian speech that will quickly be forgotten. But she writes, Peggy Noonan does, the big thing we found out in the convention is exactly how Democrats will attempt to dismantle Mr. Trump piece by piece. He's not just reckless, he's ridiculous. A fraud in business, a screwball, unserious and uninformed about policy. That essentially was the last 4 days, different people taking different pieces of that, and Hillary Clinton kind of combining it through the course of her hour-long speech. But I think that's a pretty fair assessment of what the Democrats will try and do, how they will try and caricature Donald Trump, because, again, Hillary's challenge, she has got to make this election a referendum on Trump, a referendum on Hillary, and she loses.
Yeah, but did you hear what Donald Trump did last night during his speech? He was out campaigning, and he said, all those people that are speaking poorly of me or not, he said bad about me, I want to hit them. Come on. You want to hit Hillary Clinton?
Hit me!
What's wrong with him?
He meant that in the Flava Flav.
I want to hit him. Okay. Thanks.
Greg and Schaumburg.
Well, you summed it up really accurately. And incidentally, Amy, you could tell that you went to the ball game last night.
Who?
Wow.
No, Amy.
Oh.
Just a parenthetical comment that she's a wild lady today.
Yeah, she's all hopped up on
I'm
those
sassy.
bison dogs they've got over there.
Right.
Thanks for the call, Greg.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The U.S. Senior and Women's Open, the BMW Championship, the Chicago Half Marathon, NASCAR racing, the Blackhawks Parade, so many festivals and special events. And they all have one thing in common: Master Fence Rental. Master Fence Rental provides professional fence rental services throughout all phases of your construction project, special event, or emergency situation, along with prompt delivery and expert installation. These are the guys to call when you need to maintain temporary safety and security at your site. Master Fence Rental is ready right now for your next big event or building project with chain link fences, fence panels, and pedestrian barricades that are uniquely designed and built to be sturdy, safe, and attractive with easy installation and takedown. Event planners, show producers, contractors, request a free quote today and get ready to work with the temporary fence pros. Master Fence. Call 866-622-0822. 866-622-0822 or online, masterfencerental.com.
Hey, the rootin' tootin' timeless fun of the Old West is waiting for you and the kids at Donley's Wild West Town in nearby Union, Illinois. Wild West Town is a perfect day out for families with children ages 3 to 11. All rides and attractions are included in one low admission price. Pony rides, the Runaway Mine Car roller coaster, gold panning, a canoe ride, and a Wild West stunt show are just some of the fun and hands-on activities that await you and the kids. So go to 560theanswer.com/wild for your discount coupons. Wild West Town is the perfect place for your child's birthday party, too. And grandparents, this is a great day for you and the kids to make those memories, and you won't believe how much fun you're going to have. Grandparents can receive free admission on Mondays and Tuesdays with a coupon from 560theanswer.com/wild. Wild West Town is located 45 minutes northwest of O'Hare Airport, just off I-90. So round up the gang and head out to Donley's Wild West Town in Union, Illinois. Hee-haw!
As a business owner or HR director, you've seen medical plans disappear. You've seen deductible and co-payment and total out-of-pocket expenses skyrocket. And the new prescription plans are a joke. You've been forced to accept the Obamacare-compliant plans, while at the same time, labor organizations and other friends of the establishment have been given special exemptions. Thankfully, the market for group health insurance has caught up, and some companies we work with can now offer these same ACA-exempt policies for your employees. My name is Greg Eck, president of Beneficial Solutions. Our team has been reacting to ever-changing insurance markets for the past 25 years. Beneficial Solutions will arm your company with the latest tools to protect your business from potential ACA penalties and make the most of your employee benefit dollars. Call us now so we can game plan before open enrollment season arrives at 630-717-8282. That's 630-717-8282. Or find us online at beneficialsolutions.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Bitty bitty bop.
Oh,
a boy.
Funky.
Yeah, you know the song Cantaloupe. Very good.
Who sings it? Yeah. Cantaloupe? I love Cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe. Coming up, a boy named Sarah speaks at the DNC, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar says Donald Trump thinks all black people look alike. That's at 5:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom, and let's get the latest on the San Diego shooting with those 2 police officers. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, 71 outside here in Chicago, and our eyes turn to San Diego, where a police officer has been killed in the line of duty, another wounded in serious to critical condition, following a late-night altercation just south of downtown San Diego. One suspect is in custody. Police on Twitter saying they're actively searching for more suspects. Some residents in the area remain on a shelter-in-place order in command from San Diego police. Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton says this election is a moment of reckoning for the United States.
It comes down to what Donald Trump doesn't get. America is great because America is good.
Clinton took direct aim at Republican nominee Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton's daughter Chelsea says her parents have shown her the love she needed when she needed it.
Every single memory I have of my mom is that regardless of what was happening in her life, she was always, always there for me.
More charges announced later today by Michigan Attorney General Bill Schuette related to the Flint water crisis. Wildfire burning along California's Big Sur coastline. Only about 10% contained. It covers at least 42 square miles. Worried evacuees wondering about the fate of their homes. About 2,000 are at risk. One person is dead, another hurt following two separate police shootings on Chicago's south side, one near Marquette and May, and police tell us one about an hour later involving a stolen vehicle at 74th and Merrill. A woman fighting for her life struck by lightning in Bolingbrook. Police say the incident happened yesterday while the victim was walking on Janes Avenue. She was hospitalized with severe burns. Cubs over the White Sox, 3-1. John Lackey beat Chris Sale last night. Bears held their first practice of training camp yesterday, and Jimmy Walker, your leader, after day one of the PGA Championship. The news, a service of CiCi's Pizza. Can you believe it? CiCi's now has 3 stuffed crust pizzas, original pepperoni, new pretzel, and new bacon stuffed. Try them all and your other CiCi's favorites for $5 and change. The CiCi's buffet just got better, believe it. 5:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Here Maps, the free app that helps you beat the jam with live traffic info and public transit schedules. Get it now at here.com/commute.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President of Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. Stacy wanted to contact a realtor before purchasing a home in Deerfield. Bad move. Not getting pre-qualified by me before talking to a realtor is like smoking while pumping gas. I pre-qualified Stacy to purchase a home and introduced her to Lauren Shue, my preferred Deerfield realtor. If you're purchasing a home, call me first. I'll pre-qualify you for free and introduce you to my experienced team of preferred realtors who will help you locate the perfect home. My team of real estate experts will always look out for your financial best interest. If you're buying a home, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. I've helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage License D4358, RMLA, NMLS 19186.
5:36. Let's get an update on the morning ride to work in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. If you're headed to O'Hare or Midway, there is some fog, and there are a few flight delays, mainly at O'Hare this morning. Not a lot, just a few. The Edens is clear. The Kennedy looking good, no delays, but the express lanes have yet to open on the inbound side. The Eisenhower has no problem to Freeport. Stevenson's still good. Inbound Ryan before the Skyway, there's a stall in the right lane, and delays kick in just past 35th. It's 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound fine at 15. Bishop Ford, 17 minutes, 80-94 to the Rhine. The other expressways and tollways are delay-free. Traffic is a service of TrueCar. If you're ready to buy a new car, download the TrueCar app. Just configure the new car you want, see what others paid for, and lock in guaranteed savings from TrueCar certified dealers. It's that easy. Save time and save money. Download the TrueCar app today. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Partly sunny, not as warm. We'll have a shower or thunderstorm in the area by 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon, high 76. Shower or storm around overnight, low 65. 70 at O'Hare, 71 along the lakefront. Next news is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour Radio Show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560 The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshale Financial Group.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, good morning. And let me ask you this question. Do you think the Democrats got out of the convention what they needed to? Do you think they had a successful convention from their perspective being advancing the electoral interests of Hillary Clinton and their candidates up and down the ballot? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. That's a different question than do you agree with them? Do you like Hillary? Do you think they accomplished what they set out to accomplish from their electoral interests?
Well, Dan, who do you think had the better convention, the Republicans or the Democrats?
I think they're both parties in flux. They're parties that are fighting elements of disunity, and I think they both had successful conventions for their purposes. I think the Democrats actually had a fairly strong convention, partly because, you've got the incumbent president and vice president and first lady.
Well, it's more star-studded affair. I mean, more accomplished politicians than what we had, because we didn't have either of the Bushes. We didn't have Romney. He was on vacation. There's a lot of no-shows and a lot of governors that didn't show up, and even John Kasich, who organized the event, didn't
but
show
understand, there's two very different worldviews being presented. Some of it's not as different as it used to be with Trump at the top, but still two very different worldviews and two very different value propositions. So the value proposition isn't we have all these career politicians. That's more so what you saw from the Democrats, but it's just a different appeal. So you have two competitors making different appeals to the electorate. And the question is, do they both successfully make the best version of their appeal they can make? And I think the answer is largely yes. I think the Democrats had a fairly good convention from their perspective. I think last night perhaps was the strongest night, even stronger than when President Obama spoke and President Clinton spoke and Michelle Obama and the like. And it was because they got away, I think, from a little bit of the politicians, incumbent politicians. And you heard, for example, from Khizr Khan, who is the father of a Muslim soldier who was killed in action.
Yeah, killed in Iraq.
And this was perhaps, it was succinct, but it was perhaps the most powerful moment of the night.
Donald Trump, you're asking Americans to trust you with their future. Let me ask you, have you even read the United States Constitution? I will gladly lend you my copy.
And Mr. Khan went on to say, you've sacrificed nothing, you've sacrificed no one.
I'm sure Donald Trump was listening.
Well,
he hasn't responded to anything with a tweet yet, and I hope that he doesn't. He should sit this one out.
And there's a difference between something that is fair and something that is powerful. Those two things don't necessarily have to be the same. That was a powerful moment. It was a powerful moment at the convention. Also, when retired four-star General John Allen spoke.
When he was screaming.
That's true. He was.
He was pulling a Marilyn Mosby. He was not speaking to us. He was yelling at us.
I prefer the term bellowing.
Okay,
I think that
all
more
right. Then
accurately.
he was bellowing fairly well, because I was wondering what got him so angry. But
It was a full 10 minutes of bellowing. There's no question.
Was almost unlistenable.
But you'll recall, he had an assemblage of military veterans around him, and he had this to say. This was kind of the whole meme that the Democrats are trying to create, purposely misinterpreting what Trump meant when he said the military is a disaster. So they're taking that and saying, he says the military is a disaster, the military is great. Of course, Donald Trump isn't saying the military is a disaster in terms of we don't have the best military in the world, we don't have the best fighting men and women in the world, because he said precisely that. He's saying it's a disaster in terms of its underfunding, and we're not providing the right equipment, and and obviously we're not providing the right aftercare at the VA. That's what he's talking about when he means a disaster. They know that it's a purposeful misinterpretation to create a meme and to create a narrative, and General Allen furthered that last night.
Fellow Americans, I stand with you tonight, a retired four-star general of the United States Marine Corps. And I am joined by my fellow generals and admirals, and with these magnificent young veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan. They went there and they risked their lives because they love this country.
Mm-hmm. And then he made the case for why Hillary and why not Donald Trump. First, why Hillary?
Hillary Clinton will be exactly the kind of commander-in-chief America needs. I know this because I served with her. I know this as the former special presidential envoy to the global coalition to counter ISIS. With her as our commander-in-chief, America will continue to lead this volatile world. We will oppose and resist tyranny, and we will defeat evil. America will defeat ISIS and protect the homeland.
It took until day 4 for them to mention ISIS and that, their focus on defeating ISIS. That's the first we heard of ISIS.
And then, General Allen turned his sights to Donald Trump without mentioning him and essentially gave the reason why he would not be supporting Donald Trump.
But I also know that with her as our commander-in-chief, our international relations will not be reduced to a business transaction. I also know that our armed forces will not become an instrument of torture, and they will not be engaged in murder or carry out other illegal activities.
Did you see how the crowd started chanting USA? First time I've heard that, so they were patriotic finally, but then it turned into no more wars.
Well, right, and
it didn't last long.
And there were hecklers that interrupted General Allen's speech. As you said, no more wars chants like they did with Leon Panetta. They also heckled. I mean, this is the element within the Democrat Party, the rabble. Frankly, a lot of the Bernie supporters. They also heckled Medal of Honor recipient Florence Groberg, who endorsed Clinton, because just they're anti-war.
A Medal of Honor?
Yeah. I mean, wow. I don't agree with General Allen, and I don't agree with Medal of Honor recipient Florence Groberg. Obviously, I respect their opinion. Yeah. I respect their position.
And respect what they've done and shut your mouth and listen.
Right, as well as, frankly, Kaiser Khan, whose son gave his life for this country. That's fair. That's all fair. And this is those are a couple of examples why I thought they actually had a pretty good convention night last night, right up until Hillary spoke.
Well, can I, real quick, Hillary? Yeah. She finally mentioned the slaying and assassination of our police officers.
Look at what happened in Dallas after the assassinations of 5 brave police officers. Police Chief David Brown asked the community to support his force, maybe even join them. And you know how the community responded? Nearly 500 people applied in just 12 days.
Some were saying, did she seem sincere when she was saying this? Was it forced rhetoric? I mean,
so I think the Wall Street Journal nailed it with their the headline of their editorial today.
What was it?
Hope without change. She was trying to cast an optimistic tone, but she's advocating for an extension of the same policies. I think that's a fair summation of her speech in terms of its content. Bob and Waukegan, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I was in the United States Marine Corps from 1972 to 1976. And you have to remember that President Obama is the commander-in-chief. And if you are an officer, which I wasn't, in the military, and you say anything bad, you get McChrystal. Remember,
yes,
Biden was Vice President Bite Me, and it got in Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
I know officers that are in the military now and have talked to them, and they don't say anything bad about anybody in the high command because President Obama is the commander-in-chief. My question for Democrats is, President Reagan used to say, are you better off today than you were when the Democrats took office? Well, my question is America stronger today than it was when Democrats took office. And I would ask the African American community how they like being unemployed to 25% approximately for adult males and 40% for teenagers. If they feel like America has been stronger for them over the last years.
Thanks for the call, Bob. Randy in Crown Point.
Morning, guys. Does it really matter how this convention ended? And I have to go back to the last two election cycles when we elected Obama. If I heard once, I heard 1,000 times. I wanted to be part of history. That's why I voted for. How does history feel now when you voted for the first black president? And then in 2012, when the country was falling apart, we had Benghazi 2 months prior to the election, and we still re-elected this man with the debt, with all the aggravation. This country proved in 2012. 2008 was we got caught up in the euphoria. I didn't. The people got caught up in the euphoria of history. 2012, the United States crossed over to stupid. We're blindly being led by idiots, and I can't imagine that those same idiots aren't going to show up at the polling booth and pull the lever for this lady that is a murderous tyrant and absolutely a lawless moron. I just don't get it. We have crossed over to stupid.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Today, partly sunny, not as warm. We're going to have a shower or thunderstorm in areas and spots. A high of just 76 degrees. And then Saturday, it's okay. It's going to be more clouds than sun, a high of 76. And on Sunday, looks much better. We're going to have mostly sunny skies, a high of 80 degrees. Any sunshine on the roadways? With those travel times, here's Jim Telemonte.
So far, Amy, not too bad. It's kind of routine, actually, for the most part. The Edens has no delays to report. The Kennedy also looking good. We're still waiting for those express lanes to open on the inbound side, but it's 20 minutes either way between O'Hare and downtown. Inbound Ike, a little sluggish, 17th to 1st. 30 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. How about fine at 29? Stevenson has a 2-minute delay, Cicero to Cats. Either Ryan, about 5 minutes worth of delays in pockets. Bishop Ford, a 2-minute delay, 103rd to the merge. Tollway still good, no delays to report in northwest Indiana. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Policy Institute, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
If you suffer sinus congestion, trouble breathing through your nose, which gets worse when you lie down, facial pain, and sinus infections, antibiotics, nasal sprays, and steroids can only do so much. I'm Dr. Robert Deitch, and excited to tell you that recent advances in our field have opened exciting new doors. We're leading experts in a newer procedure called balloon sinus dilation that gently expands your natural sinus openings to fix underlying drainage problems. It takes 15 minutes and is performed in our office. Balloon sinus dilation is minimally invasive using local anesthesia and best of all delivers immediate and long-lasting relief. We're board-certified ENT specialists who can help you avoid expensive hospital visits and long recovery times.
For immediate and long-lasting relief from your sinus problems, call ENT Associates today at 847-882-5888 or visit nosinusproblems.com. That's ENT Associates at 847-882-5888 or online at nosinusproblems.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, Do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-7052. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-7052. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-7052. 1-800-400-7052.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, one of the other convention speakers last night at the DNC was Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I knew that.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know much, but I know that.
Who did he get drafted by?
Oh.
In the NBA.
No, I know. Well, he played for the Lakers.
Yeah, who did he get drafted by?
Oh, my gosh, I don't know.
Just north of us.
Oh, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Milwaukee Bucks.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Nicely done. Less nicely done was Jabbar's remarks. Here's what he did when he walked out on stage.
Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Jordan, and I'm here with Hillary. I said that because I know that Donald Trump couldn't tell the difference.
That is not funny. Wait, isn't he a Republican? I thought Jabbar was a...
No, he's a liberal. Here's the question. I mean, what he's saying is Donald Trump thinks all black people look alike because what he's saying is Donald Trump's a racist. Is that fair? I mean, is that something? It's fine to make jokes. You take shots, and the Republicans do it to the Democrats, and Democrats do it to the Republicans. And I know everybody who's a Republican is a racist in the minds of the left. I get it. But
no, not all Republicans are racist, but all racists are Republicans. That's what they say.
Yeah, well, they're morons.
Yeah, morons.
But
that's not cool what he said.
Well, they're intellectual children.
So I was sitting near Scottie Pippen last night. Maybe it was Michael Jordan because everybody looks the same. Okay.
I mean,
sure.
But do you think that's effective? Do you really believe? I know there's the argument. It's the argument against every Republican that they're racist. Do you really believe Trump is a racist? Do you really believe that?
It's part of his act. I don't know if it's in his heart.
70 years working in the construction trades in New York City, being a man of the left, frankly, for most of his adult life. So did he just become a racist in the last several years where he's moved a little bit center-right, at least rhetorically? So when did he become a racist, Kareem?
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I have actually been on Balance of Nature for a year now. I have MS, and I recently had an MRI. This is the first year that I've had a stable MRI, so I'm thrilled. When I have an MRI with MS, usually there are glowing spots that come through, which is damage on the nerves in my brain and my spinal cord, and when they're glowing, it means they're active. And then my last MRI, they pulled it up, and I honestly couldn't believe that it was my MRI. There was nothing glowing. And in fact, the dark spots were shrinking. They were healing. And the doctor actually said to me, I think we're in remission. I was so happy. I had no idea that that could be my reality.
Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
Hi, this is Dr. David Kolbaba. You know, hormone balance is a big deal. If your hormones are out of whack, it can account for so many health challenges like low energy and fatigue, spaced out memory, low sex drive, otherwise known as the dead in bed syndrome. Nothing excites you anymore with you watching more and more TV every night, misusing food or alcohol, and then there's the hair loss that you thought was age appropriate, and then the weight gain. Let me tell you about our specially priced dirt cheap hormone test. No blood, just test saliva. Interesting that with over 33 years in private practice, I've never seen normal hormone test results in the first go-around. And that's why you need to have us help you balance your hormones once and for all. So call our HealthQuest radio hotline at 800-794-1855. You can't get any cheaper than dirt cheap. No blood, just spit. Call 800-794-1855. Oh, and be sure to listen to HealthQuest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11. But for now, call 800-794-1855.
Hey, ChicagoRadioDeals.com can help you spiff up your home and auto. Wash away the road grime and dirt with a great deal from Fuller's Car Wash of Elk Grove Village. A full-service car wash, just $10. And give your home the clean it needs with an excellent deal from the Grout Medic of LaGrange. Grout Medic offers a shower touch-up that includes all the goods for only $110. And if you want to shop at a great local hardware store with personal customer service, then purchase the Addison Building Materials $100 gift certificate for only $50. Let's go. Get the home improvement projects done with help from your friends at ChicagoRadioDeals.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
And coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Does it take a village? We'll get your answers and provide our own at 6:06.
And Chug Chug Choo Choo Mommy, Chelsea Clinton, recalls a favorite book. But first, let's go into
Bill
the newsroom.
Clinton's favorite book.
Yeah. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, one killed, one hurt in two Chicago police shootings, while Fox News will update a San Diego police shooting where one officer has been killed. That story in just a moment. Meantime, an inmate hurt during a hostage situation at the Cook County Jail. Dick Durbin decides to blast Bruce Rauner. Cubs are in a split with the White Sox. WIND Chicago News Time, 6.
Fox News Radio, I'm Dave Anthony.
Tonight, we've reached a milestone in our nation's march toward a more perfect union.
Hillary Clinton, the first woman to accept a major party's nomination, reaching out to Bernie Sanders supporters.
You've put economic and social justice issues front and center where they belong.
And Clinton pushed for gun control, brushing aside what her critics say.
I'm not here to repeal the Second Amendment. I'm not here to take away your guns.
And she targeted her rival.
We will not build a wall.
Taking a lot of shots at Donald Trump.
We will not ban a religion.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers is live at the now over Democratic Convention in Philadelphia.
Well, she gave her vision for the country, singling out immigration, terrorism, and her jobs plan.
In my first 100 days, we will work with both parties to pass the biggest investment in new, good-paying jobs since World War II.
As for Trump, well, the hits just kept on coming.
Donald Trump says, and this is a quote, "I know more about ISIS than the generals do." No, Donald, you don't.
This morning, Clinton and her running mate, Senator Tim Kaine, have a rally at Temple University before they kick off a bus tour, Dave.
All right, Tanya, Donald Trump tweeted quite a bit during Clinton's address. Critical, she didn't say radical Islam, calling her corrupt. The Republican will rally today in Colorado. A police officer murdered in San Diego, and another cop was also shot.
The shot is definitely a handgun. The suspect is going to be close by.
That scanner audio from Broadcastified happened about 5 hours ago, so there aren't many details, like if they were targeted, like in Dallas and Baton Rouge. The suspect is in custody. The other officer said to be in surgery. Pope Francis has gone to a place of horror in Poland. Visiting Auschwitz, the Nazi World War II death camp, he laid a candle where many were executed. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Cloudy and 70 degrees this morning. A little light fog in spots at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A person dead, another hurt following two separate police shootings on Chicago's South Side. The first happened at Marquette and May last night. About an hour later, another incident near 74th and Merrill where a person was shot and killed by police trying to flee from a traffic stop in which a vehicle was reported stolen from Bolingbrook. A woman fighting for her life struck by lightning in Bolingbrook. Police say the incident happened yesterday while the victim was walking on Janes Avenue. She remains hospitalized this morning after suffering severe burns. An inmate recovering following a hostage situation at the Cook County Jail. Two inmates held another one hostage yesterday with sharp objects in a maximum security tier of the jail. The situation was resolved several hours later. The inmate held captive suffered a leg injury. Search is underway this morning to find a private company to run the Illinois lottery. Governor Rauner announcing yesterday the state is seeking bids. He says the Illinois lottery has been operated very poorly for years. and is demanding a new contractor. U.S. Senator Dick Durbin believes Governor Rauner is trying to divide the state. Durbin, speaking yesterday at the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia, may be throwing up a flag that says he may be running for governor in a few years. Meantime, Representative Tammy Duckworth doesn't believe Donald Trump is fit to be the next commander-in-chief. She spoke last night at the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia.
By the way, Donald Trump, I didn't put my life on the line to defend our democracy so you could invite Russia to interfere in it.
Duckworth last night blasting the Republican presidential nominee for the Russian suggestion that they should find and release Hillary Clinton's missing email. Cubs over the White Sox 3-1. John Lackey over Chris Sale last night in their duel. Bears held their first practice of training camp, and we all held our collective breath for a while as the first-round draft pick had to be carted off the field. He had a bit of a stomach bug. The news service of Cici's Pizza. Can you believe it? Cici's now has 3 stuffed crust pizzas, original pepperoni, pretzel, and new bacon stuffed. Try them all and your other Cici's favorites for $5 and change. The Cici's buffet just got better. Believe it. 6:04 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Hey, this is Joe Walsh. That's me sleeping on a MyPillow. You know what? There's a great reason why nearly every AM 560 host endorses this darn pillow. Because it's the best. Even the National Sleep Foundation agrees that Made in America MyPillow is in a class by itself. Because they made it their official pillow, man. Hey, if you still haven't bought one, you should. You will sleep better and it's good for your health. It's washable to remove dead skin, dirt, skin oils, and dust mites that can cause allergies, acne, and asthma. You really deserve a washable MyPillow. It comes with a 10-year warranty and it's an excellent health investment. Visit MyPillow.com or call 1-800-489-0201. Be sure to use that promo code Joe so I get credit and you'll get 2 MyPillows for the price of one. Give one as a gift, keep the other for yourself, or just use both. But do it now. 1-800-489-0201 or online at MyPillow.com. Promo code Joe.
It's National Make-A-Will Month at LegalZoom.com, so it's time to take care of your will or trust. LegalZoom makes it easy. They're not a law firm, so there's no office visits or paying expensive hourly rates. Instead, you could save over $100 with LegalZoom's will or trust estate plan bundles. And if you don't know whether a will or trust is right for you, don't worry. You'll work with an independent attorney available in 48 states to get advice on what you need. Do the right thing this month at LegalZoom.com. LegalZoom.com.
Thousands of people are choosing the flexibility of working when they want, driving with Uber. You'll control your day, plus be able to start earning right away just by driving your own car.
I've got 2 kids. They're both in summer camp, and I'll drop them off. Then I turn on the Uber app, the ride requests come in, and I'm earning extra money. Working when I want, being my own boss. Driving with Uber is definitely the best option for me.
Earn the extra money you need on your schedule. Get started today. Sign up right now. Go to uber.com/drive now. uber.com/drive now.
It is 6:06 in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. Let's drive over and get the latest from Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. There's a little fog, as you mentioned this morning. There are a few flight delays at O'Hare. Inbound Kennedy, looking pretty clear, though. It's 20 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Just a little heavy out of the River Road toll. Locals Express, both fine. Outbound delay-free. Edens is wide open. Inbound Eisenhower, slow Manheim to first. 32 minutes Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 29. Stevenson, 37 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic is a service of 7-Eleven. Chill out this summer at 7-Eleven. When you get an ice-cold Big Gulp, you'll get a free one-day Redbox movie rental. This refreshing deal won't last long, and it's only at 7-Eleven. While supplies last, subject to additional terms, charges apply for additional nights. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Areas of fog for the morning, otherwise clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm in spots today. High 76. A shower or thunderstorm around tonight, low 65. Then tomorrow, more clouds than sun with a high 76 and a clear night, low 63. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
70 all the way around O'Hare, Lakefront, and Midway. Next news at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Good morning. Welcome to your Friday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Tonight, we've reached a milestone in our nation's march toward a more perfect union. The first time that a major party has nominated a woman for president.
There's something else that my mother taught me. Public service is about service.
I will be a president for Democrats, Republicans, independents, for the struggling, the striving, the successful, for all those who vote for me and for those who don't.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, the Hillary Clinton speech last night. You know what Hillary's problem is, Amy?
What?
You know why she's got the same fave-on-fave rating as Donald Trump 25 years into her public life? Because, people don't quite get her. That's the problem.
But my job titles only tell you what I've done. They don't tell you why. The truth is, through all these years of public service, the service part has always come easier to me than the public part. I get it, that some people just don't know what to make of me.
Right.
Some people don't know what to make of me. Accent on the wrong syllable there. Here's the thing. I get her, which is why I'm not with her.
Oh, hey. Well, I mean, last night was
25 years in, and people don't get her.
Last night there's no soaring rhetoric, no memorable speech. It was a way for her to reintroduce herself to the public.
25 years in.
It was to retell her life story and then to let us know who she is, what she's about, that she has feelings, that she cares.
How many times do you get to reintroduce yourself and do it credibly? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line. Not only has she had multiple reintroductions, I mean, talk about how wrong F. Scott Fitzgerald was. There's no second act in America. Second, third, fourth, fifth. She's on about her 27th act. She's been reintroduced so many times over the course of the last 2.5 decades that we're supposed to kind of pick and choose who she is based on her very stylized version of her 25 years in public service, that the service came easy and the public did not. And it was the same thing that Chelsea did a little bit, too, when she talked about her mom.
There's something else that my mother taught me. Public service is about service.
And they said, and this is all about, like, for example, she would, broke through by championing universal health care during President Clinton's tenure.
Right.
And it failed. But that was such a heroic effort. No, it wasn't. People didn't want it. And now that we have Obamacare, you know why 20 years ago people didn't want it. There's nothing heroic about pursuing terrible public policy and being stopped. Unfortunately, it wasn't stopped when President Obama did a watered-down version of it. But this is a story of overcoming the odds after a defeat, but a heroic defeat. They're trying to kind of Greek mythologize 1994 and her advance of this idea for single payer. Terrible, terrible idea. That's why it was rejected, and it should continue to be.
Well, that was a defeat for her, but what she highlighted was it takes a village. That is a working mom. She wrote a book about it taking a village.
20 years ago, I wrote a book called It Takes a Village. And a lot of people looked at the title and asked, what the heck do you mean by that? This is what I mean. None of us can raise a family, build a business, heal a community, or lift a country totally alone.
I mean, do you believe that? 312-642-5600. Because I believe it does take a village.
Mm-hmm.
On my street, I'm the chief. I'm the teepee holder because it takes a village. You help everybody out. You help all the working moms out. That's what you do. So I mean, I don't fault her for that. Was that a mistake for her to make the comment?
Do you think that's what she means when she says it takes a village?
Or do you think she's talking about big government?
That's what she's
controlling your children.
Well, that's what she's talking about. She's talking about it takes a village of government institutions stocked with public sector union employees. That's what she's talking about when it takes a village. It's the wraparound services at the public schools. It's the public schools themselves. It's social service agencies, government. It's not the platoons of democracy that Burke talked about. The organizing, like you're talking about, that you do in your community, in your block, with other mothers, other working mothers,
other
or stay-at-home
nannies,
mothers,
yeah.
or nannies, or whoever. But the point is, it's private action. Mm-hmm. When she says it takes a village, she's talking about government coercion. When you say it takes a village, you're talking about private action. Those are completely distinct. And that's why, yes, of course, nobody exists in alone. No, exists in a vacuum. No one is an island. No man is an island.
Don't make me sing the song. No man stands alone.
Oh, I thought you were going to do Islands in the Stream.
No, I could do that too, but I won't.
Let's hear it. I'll play the role of Dolly, and you do Kenny Rogers.
You ready?
1, 2,
3. Islands in the stream.
That's the worst Kenny Rogers I've ever heard.
Islands in the
That's
stream.
better.
That is what we are.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit of country. Tony in Long Grove. Hey, Tony.
Yeah, I was just calling to say that Hillary's book should be called It Takes a Village Idiot.
All right. Thanks, Tony.
Wow. Is he going to be at Zany's later tonight?
Tony from Long Grove, a funny man. Let's help me welcome him. He'll be at the Laugh Shack opening for Uncle Lair. Michael and Gary, Indiana.
Hey, guys. Actually, I'm in Gary, but I'm from Detroit, in town on business. And I want to quote the great Thomas Sowell, who says, when anybody tells you it takes a village to raise a child, only the village idiot would believe them.
There you go. Thanks for the call, Michael.
Really?
That didn't have the zip of Tony from
right
Long
now,
Grove, but it was,
I don't know. As used to be a single mom with 2 kids. I mean, it does take a village. I don't see that as, there's any other interpretation than we all help each other out, and we're all here for each other. And if the kid at school his mom packs him a bag of for lunch candy, then you bring a sandwich for him. You just slide it under the desk. Just give him the food.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard about her mom's story last night.
Okay, lunch lady.
Her mom had no food. And her mother's first grade teacher would bring her lunch every day. It takes a village. Do you want another story?
Yeah. I'm welling up.
Are you more attracted to Hillary now? Is she more human to you now?
No.
Because her mother was abandoned at 14 and was a cleaning lady? Does that bring any? Her dad played football at Penn State, don't you know? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a way to win over Pennsylvanians.
Yeah.
That's how she threw that in. Oh, and her battleground say, Pennsylvania, my daughter went to Penn State.
Yeah. What does he know about Jerry Sandusky?
Oh, hey.
Deborah and Marengo.
Don't drop the soap.
Oh, wow. Deborah and Marengo, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hello.
Hi, Deborah.
I just wanted to say that Dan has given me the first laugh in a long, long time.
Oh.
When he says that he gets Hillary Clinton, and that's why he's not voting for her. I totally agree, but it was just perfectly said.
Thank you for the call, Deborah. I totally agree with you.
Wow. Must be nice to be loved. I'm ridiculed and made fun of on a daily basis here. I can't even get sports right.
Yeah.
Sports!
That's the difference between us.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Free Big Fun Friday for you Lollapalooza fans out there. Oh, I don't know why you'd want to go to that, but thousands are, and you're going to have partly sunny skies today, passing shower or thunderstorm, a high of 76 degrees, and on Saturday, mostly cloudy with a high of 76 degrees. And on Sunday, no rain again, partly sunny skies, a little bit warmer, a high of 80 degrees. Any activity around Grant Park already? Here's Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Right now, it's pretty quiet around Grant Park. You still have those downtown street closures for Lollapalooza. This being a Friday, the afternoon figures to be crazy there. And you do have also a Fiesta del Sol and Pierogi Fest. So pick your festival and pick your snarled traffic. Carroll Stream crashed Gary Avenue at North Avenue this morning. The Edens is still fine. Kennedy inbound, slow from the River Road toll to Cumberland. 21 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound still 20. The Eisenhower's 32 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 30. Stevenson 38 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan 25 minutes. 95th to downtown. Outbound Tri-State slow from the Reagan tollway to the Eisenhower. The other tollways are good. Northwest Indiana is delay-free. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
Mike Rowe here for 1 hour. Today, Chuck is jogging in place to make a point about energy efficiency.
I thought I was training for a marathon.
He's been at it now for...
3 minutes.
And already he's wearing out.
I'm not.
Your heating and air conditioning systems are a lot like Chuck.
Warm yet somehow cool?
Wheezing, wasting energy, and probably headed for replacement.
You're talking about the air systems, right?
Sure, pal. Sure. Call 1 hour before it's too late.
Can you do the disclaimer for me?
Each independent franchise is licensed in its respective state or county.
Thanks.
Banks have been foreclosing on people's homes at an unprecedented rate. Enough is enough. It's time to fight back and level the playing field. The attorneys of Bridges & O and Associates have an intense understanding of foreclosure law. Experienced attorneys will passionately litigate against and negotiate with your bank for a permanent loan restructuring. They are proud to help educate and protect families, keeping you in your home, reducing your stress, and giving you time to get back on your feet. Don't just sit there and lose your home. They can put you back in control. Get the upper hand when negotiating with your bank with their free evaluation. Then Bridges & O and Associates will develop a plan that will help your family now, 3 months from now, 3 years from now, even 5 years from now. Call 224-513-1231 or visit FightIllinoisForeclosures.com. Get real answers from a real foreclosure defense law firm. 224-513-1231 or FightIllinoisForeclosures.com. Bridges & O and Associates. You have rights. Don't give up your home.
Here's some great news. Jack Tabota of Tabota & Associates can help you with your retirement game plan. You know Jack, or you should. Jack is the president and founder of Tabota & Associates. He's been helping folks just like you retire successfully for 3 decades. Jack has the insight, information, strategies, and experience you can use to build wealth and keep it. Live good. Retire well with Jack Tabota of Tabota & Associates. 630-777-7955. 630-777-7955.
AM 560, The Answer.
Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one another to another.
See, you can harmonize, Dan. Look at how far you've come. Aren't you proud of him? That is so awesome.
I also have attributes very similar to Dolly Parton's.
Oh, yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Are those real? I've always wanted to ask.
The real curly hair? Yeah. These are real curls.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No augmentation here, folks. Oh, no. Dan Proft, he's all natural.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is all God made right here, boys and girls. Sarah McBride, if you're listening. So we've established that Hillary's Village consists of government agencies staffed by public sector union employees who lord over subjects. So we got that out of the way. We also have Hillary making a couple of oblique forays into policy. There wasn't a lot of specifics, and I don't expect specifics in an acceptance speech. It's a vision speech.
But she expected that from Donald Trump.
Well,
I mean, anytime she
course.
could attack Donald Trump, she just said all he does is he thinks that he could defeat ISIS by doing it alone, and he can't do anything alone.
Now, Donald Trump says, and this is a quote, "I know more about ISIS than the generals do." No, Donald, you don't. You didn't hear any of this, did you, from Donald Trump at his convention? He spoke for 70-odd minutes, and I do mean odd. no solutions. But we already know he doesn't believe these things. No wonder he doesn't like talking about his plans. You might have noticed I love talking about mine.
Yeah, well, she didn't really talk about it much, although she did respond on a couple of topics in general terms. One of them was about building that wall. This was interesting. Listen closely to what she said.
We will not build a wall. Instead, we will build an economy where everyone who wants a good job can get one.
What's the key word in that sentence that she just offered? Everyone.
Everyone.
Not every U.S. citizen. Everyone. It's a tell. I think it's a tell. She talked about a path to citizenship, immigration reform, just like President Obama did 8 years ago and for all of the years in between. But everyone, I think that's a tell.
Not those who are here legally. She just said everyone.
Yeah. She did have a couple of good moments taking Trump's quotes, some of his more hyperbolic statements, and turning them on Trump. There were a couple of moments. The I Alone Can Fix It riff is a pretty good one.
The good one, too. The tweet me like I want to be tweeted.
Imagine, if you dare, imagine him in the Oval Office facing a real crisis. A man you can bait with a tweet is not a man we can trust with nuclear weapons.
And while she was saying that, Donald Trump was tweeting, Hillary's wars in the Middle East have unleashed destruction, terrorism, and ISIS across the world. No one has worse judgment than Hillary Clinton. Corruption and devastation follows her wherever she goes. Hillary's vision is a borderless world where working people have no power, no jobs, no safety, and on and on and on. Little microbursts of tweeting while she was speaking. Mike on the north side.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I learned a lot watching the Democrats last night. They are desperate. They are running scared. Who's the incumbent party here? Is it Trump? No, it's the Democrats. What's the first rule about politics, Dan? You never give your opponent free publicity.
Well, go ahead, finish.
All they did was talk about how bad he was and not what they're going to do. Most of the blacks I work with don't care about Hillary. There's no excitement. Pretty soon her campaign's going to go down so badly, she's going to be so far down in the polls, and that Green Party candidate's going to inch up above 10%, that Hillary's going to be advertising on billboards in the city. If your life's a wreck, we'll send you a check. All she has to do is to give money out. So I think Grandma Menopause is on her way to the old folks' home.
Well, Mike, as a keen political observer, Mike.
He says what he wants, and then he drops
he's
the
done.
line.
Yeah,
But what were you going to say to
sexual
Mike?
chocolate. just walks right off stage on me. Oh, thanks a lot, Mike.
Chocolate.
From Coming to America?
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be...
Are you telling me you never saw Coming to America?
No, I did see it, but I just don't remember. You guys, you see a movie and it's embedded in your brain, all the lines, and in a hot second you can drop a line from any movie. I can only drop lines from certain movies. Anchorman.
Police Academy, like Bill Clinton.
Vacation.
I don't believe you really saw Coming to America.
I did. It was with
who's in
Arsenio Hall.
All right.
And
right.
and Eddie Murphy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, see now.
I'm still a little skeptical.
No, I saw it. It was just many moons ago.
What's it about?
It's about coming to America.
Mm-hmm. What was the name of the restaurant?
Oh my gosh. Sexual chocolate.
No.
Vanilla Thunder.
The McDonald's knockoff restaurant was
Burgers Are Us.
Yeah, you saw Coming to America. Nice try.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
When you hear the word chiller, the first thing that pops into your mind may be a frozen drink from your favorite convenience store. If you run a business or you're a maintenance engineer, you know of a different kind of chiller, the mechanical one that keeps you, your employees, and customers cool in the summer. And with this summer predicted to be hotter than normal, you don't want to get stuck on one of those 90-plus degree days with no AC. Better call Air Comfort and get your chiller tuned up and running at peak performance. A professional inspection can find small problems before they become big problems, and proper maintenance can keep your system from wasting energy and money. Air Comfort will make sure your equipment is clean and obstacle-free. And if your AC is about to or has stopped working, they can install temporary solutions to keep you cool while the long-term fixes are put in place. The key is preventative maintenance, and Air Comfort can help. Schedule a comprehensive assessment of your mechanical system today. Call 708-345-1900 or visit aircomfort.com. Air Comfort, providing the right climate for business since 1935.
You've heard it, Illinois has the highest taxes in the nation. If you own a home, your mortgage payment is going up. Taxes, homeowners insurance are all increasing. This is Barbara Walters, president of Ameritrust. Think about this.
If your mortgage rate is 3.25% or above,
let's lower your mortgage payment. Anne refinanced and saved $649 per month on her mortgage payment. Alice refinanced and she saved $530 per month. And another couple saved $475 per month. No matter what, your mortgage payment is going to increase. Make the call, find out what your savings can be.
Ameritrust Mortgage. Call 815-459-7303, 815-459-7303, or go to am560myhome.com. Ameritrust Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee number 720, NMLS number 217229.
Lumber Liquidators is clearing out top quality floors to make room for the newest styles during their hardwood and bamboo closeout sale. Get $1 off per square foot on select pre-finished hardwood, 20 to 25% off all in-stock Morningstar bamboo. It's one of the best deals ever. Get complete laminate flooring packages from just 39 cents per square foot and new stack-out deals from 29 cents at your local store. Plus special financing. Get to the hardwood and bamboo closeout sale today. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
Life should be an adventure, and so should your health. It's another can't-miss Health Quest radio show this Saturday morning. Dr. David Kolbaba.
I'm the host of Chicagoland's longest-running health news and science show. As a primary natural health care practitioner, I've been helping people just like you reach a higher place of health and longevity, utilizing more natural strategies as I believe our Creator meant it to be.
Create your adventure in health. Tune into Health Quest Radio every Saturday morning at 11 on AM 560. The Answer. AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, yeah. Coming up next on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The USS Harvey Milk.
648. Okay. And also Choo Choo Train Chugga Chugga. We'll explain. Everyone's reading it. Everyone's doing it. But now let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
71 degrees. One San Diego police officer is dead. Another hospitalized in critical condition. Both were shot overnight. Our reporter Jason Campidonia has the very latest on this developing story.
The shooting happened overnight in a San Diego neighborhood.
Yeah, we don't know where the shots have come from.
Use caution into the area. We do not know where the shots are coming from.
Both officers were rushed to the hospital, where one was declared dead.
The 99, 2 officers down.
Can we just grab the officer, throw him in the car, and take him straight to the hospital?
Officials say they have one suspect in custody and another is on the run. The San Diego police chief is expected to give more details later today. Jason Campidonia, San Diego.
Hillary Clinton says America is great because America is good, closing the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia last night, taking direct aim at Republican nominee Donald Trump's temperament.
You really think Donald Trump has the temperament to be commander-in-chief? Donald Trump can't even handle the rough and tumble of a presidential campaign.
Republican vice presidential nominee Mike Pence was on the stump yesterday, saying there are many reasons why he's proud to stand by Donald Trump.
When Donald Trump is elected president, I might be able to be helpful in translating his vision for this country into practical policies that we can pass through the Congress and get through all the way to his desk for signature.
Governor Pence saying that vision not only includes making America great, but making it strong at home and abroad. Baltimore police officers charged in the death of Freddie Gray are back at work this morning. They returned to work after prosecutors dropped charges against 3 of them. Some actually returned to their stations yesterday. 3 of the 6 were acquitted in court, and the trial of a 4th ended in a hung jury. A person is dead, another hurt following 2 separate police shootings on Chicago's South Side. The first happened near Marquette and May, while less than an hour later, after a The suspect was stopped near 74th and Merrill. A person was shot and killed by police trying to flee from a vehicle that was reported stolen. Authorities say a body found in a garage on Chicago's South Side has been identified as a missing woman. Shantae Bohannon was discovered Wednesday inside a garbage bag in the 500 block of East 92nd. Her death is under investigation. The U.S. Coast Guard says it's enforcing safety zones around each one of the vessels visiting Navy Pier as part of the Tall Ships Challenge. The Coast Guard says the ships are scheduled to participate in events at Navy Pier through Sunday. Cubs over the White Sox 3-1. John Lackey over Chris Sale. Jimmy Walker, your PGA championship leader. The news, a service of 7-Eleven. Chill out this summer at 7-Eleven. When you get a nice cold Big Gulp, you get a free one-day Redbox movie rental. It's a refreshing deal that won't last long. Only at 7-Eleven while supplies last. Subject to additional terms. Charges apply for additional nights. 6:33 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager has an interesting look at the presidential candidates.
Over time, he has somewhat metamorphosed in my mind. I'm at the tentative place right now wherein I regard him as a sheep in wolf's clothing, and I regard her as a wolf in wolf's clothing.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Remodel your kitchen with Galaxy. Buy one cabinet and get one free with free financing and design services. Call 773-783-8300.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
If you think all banks are the same, it's time to think about Signature Bank Chicago. I'm Pete Olson, head of commercial banking at Signature Bank, where the people who own the bank operate the bank. Not in an abstract way, but in the same hands-on, personalized way that you run your business. We don't rely on a legion of business developers to find new relationships. We don't trust an outsourced phone bank to address your customer service needs, and we don't delegate decision-making to some anonymous credit committee that you'll never meet. We do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you don't succeed, we don't succeed. Call us today to see the Signature Bank difference.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
6:35 is our time. Let's get an update on the roads in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On Metra's Union Pacific Northwest line, train 608 due downtown at 717. It stopped near Pingree Road. There's a tree stuck on the inbound track there, so we'll keep an eye on that Union Pacific Northwest line. On Eden's just a little heavy approaching the junction. The Kennedy, now 30 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 21. The Eisenhower, 40 minutes, Thorndale to the post office, outbound 31 minutes. Stevenson jammed up Harlem to Pulaski with a crash on the right shoulder. 46 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 34. Bryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 16 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford 18. Traffic as a service, Burger King's Grilled Dogs. Where are you going to get the delicious grilled hot dog? Your backyard? No, Burger King. Burger King grilled dogs are made with 100% beef and flame grilled to perfection. Pick up a grilled dog today at participating Burger King restaurants. Flame grilling hot dogs since 2016. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the aircomfort.com Weather Center, partly sunny, not as warm today. A shower or thunderstorm in the area will top out around 76. Humid with a shower or storm overnight, low 65. 70 at O'Hare. Next news at 7. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
It's Feldco's biggest sale of the year. Get $1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors.
Call 866 for Feldco.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Want to update the shooting of 2 police officers in San Diego. We reported earlier One of those officers, unfortunately, has died. A second officer in surgery but expected to survive. This from a tweet from the San Diego police chief just moments ago. We don't know a lot yet, but we know that it was a traffic stop. We know the suspect is in custody or will be. The suspect also shot and was being treated at the hospital, but effectively in custody. There was an initial report that they were looking for other suspects. That seems to be no longer the case, that the suspect that's at the hospital in custody, they believe is kind of exhaustive of the confrontation and the shooting apparently between the suspect and police officers.
And the shooting happened around 11 p.m. Pacific time, and these two officers were assigned to the department's gang unit, and they, again, had just pulled over a car, and almost immediately they called for emergency cover. So I don't know what that tells you, but for me, that means that it was an ambush-style situation where they pulled a car over and then he immediately started shooting.
Yeah, I mean, it's speculative at this point, but that sounds plausible. Or, they walk up on the car and whoever was in that car just turns and opens fire.
That's true, too.
Before
but the
there's any interaction. But who that's totally speculative. I don't know that.
But the officer who died, he suffered from multiple gunshot wounds to his upper torso. And the other cop was shot in the upper torso, and as you mentioned, was in surgery and is expected to make a full recovery.
Well, I wonder if, this is just questions, but I wonder if the officers, particularly the one who died, was wearing a vest. If it was upper torso, it could have been above the vest, but you just wonder. So we'll continue to update that situation in San Diego as more information becomes available on the condition of the officer. More details are filled in on what happened with this police-involved shooting.
And the police chief said this is a very sad. It is with a very sad heart that we announce the death of one of our officers. Please pray for his family.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to continue to be an issue that frames the presidential race and frames the 2016 election more generally. And a related story, Somerville, Massachusetts. Somerville police officers held a protest yesterday evening. The police officers held a protest because they want a Black Lives Matter banner that hangs from a village building with the City of Somerville Police Department logo on it that was put up by the mayor. They want it taken down. A Somerville Police Employees Association president, Michael McGrath, said about the rally yesterday, "The rally will be peaceful and respectful, but will demonstrate the solidity of police organizations in Massachusetts to the exclusionary message that the banner sends." Deeply troubling is how Mr. McGrath characterized the banner.
Because Black Lives Matters, it's about feeling, not facts, really. And I think Ben Shapiro is the one who said that because it's true. It's just a knee-jerk reaction without knowing the truth of the matter, without knowing what happened before the video started rolling.
And just to give both sides, the mayor of Somerville, Massachusetts, Joseph Curtatone.
Nice pronunciation.
Thank you very much. Said the city of Somerville stands against all violence and all injustice, which is why a Black Lives Matter banner hangs at City Hall and why a banner in honor of the slain officers is hanging at Somerville Police Headquarters, where it would provide the most moral support to our officers, both on my orders. Both banners will remain hanging.
Really?
Yeah.
What about a Blue Lives Matter banner next to the Black Lives Matter banner?
Well, we're running out of banners and ribbons and space for it all. The police chief of Somerville, who's a mayoral appointee probably, or perhaps with village board confirmation, but
dirty Democrat.
If the mayor feels the sign makes people in our community feel safer, feel more engaged with the police department, then I'm 100% behind it. Well, I don't know that I just blindly accept the mayor's judgment on this. What he's doing is making the two equivalent, right? A banner in honor of slain officers is hanging in the police headquarters in Somerville. A banner says Black Lives Matter is hanging outside on the outside of City Hall, like a big banner outside on the facade of City Hall. Are the two morally equivalent? Black Lives Matter and a banner memorializing slain officers? I don't think so. I think the record of law enforcement and the record of Black Lives Matter are different. I think one is more honorable than the other.
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement?
But the fact that the mayor is falling on deaf ears and not taking the banner down after it's offending people, officers who are putting their lives on the line every day.
Well,
this is political suicide on his part.
Well, I've got a question just staying on this topic because this is an idea that's been floated by a state representative in Illinois. In Illinois, you don't have the death penalty anymore, right? We don't have the death penalty. And I'm actually an opponent of the death penalty. But
I love the death penalty.
You love it?
I don't love it. I'm just saying I've always been for the death
Huge
penalty.
fan. Nobody a bigger fan of Old Sparky. Using Old Sparky.
You know what? That came out wrong. Let me just say I am for the death penalty. I am for capital punishment.
And the list of crimes for which you think capital punishment may be appropriate goes all the way down to jaywalking. I mean, that's how big a fan you are.
Don't you jaywalk, especially not in front of me. You will pay.
Give Jacobson a cross look and...
Hey.
Yeah.
She's
getting out the needle. But there's a state representative from Oswego, a friend of the show, Mark Batnick, a freshman Republican from, Plainfield, Oswego area. What's the area he represents? He has floated the idea, I think he's going to introduce legislation consistent with the idea that he floated, of reinstituting the death penalty in Illinois for anyone who murders a police officer.
Okay.
What do you think about that? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Should we have the death penalty at the state level, just here in Illinois? It's a state-by-state issue, effectively.
Don't kill anybody in Texas.
Should we have the death penalty just for police officers in Illinois? Because one of the other things, in terms of the application of the death penalty, what do you think about this idea of like kind of special categories of people? Like if you murder me,
right?
No death penalty, probably in some court of celebration. But if you murder a police officer, death penalty. If you murder a first responder, death penalty. If you murder a teacher, death penalty. Yeah, I mean,
that kind of goes along with Alderman Ed Burke's proposal about if you assault a police officer, or a firefighter or a EMS responder, that would be a hate crime.
Right.
It's a special category.
I don't like special legislation as a general rule. I don't like categorizing people differently. I mean, if we're all equal before the law, and we should be, if justice is blind, then a murder is murder, then an assault is an assault, then a theft is a theft, right? I understand the impetus for it. I understand the idea of perhaps sending a stronger message about law enforcement because they have a unique job. So as an opponent of the death penalty, I guess even if I wouldn't agree with that, I guess I could see the designation for police because of the special job they do, and you want to send a message to disincentivize violence against police, to incentivize compliance with police because of the special job that they that they have, the role they play in protecting civilization from barbarism. So I guess I could contemplate that, but I have just a general resistance to this idea of categorizing people by their race or their gender or
by the crimes
or their job
or by the victims.
Well,
I mean, that's what it would be, categorizing. If you kill a cop or a firefighter, then you could face the death penalty.
So
but if you killed some ordinary citizen, you won't.
But for you, are you a supporter of the death penalty across the board?
Yes. I don't want to. Just because it's a police officer, that you can face a death penalty, but you could kill a school teacher or you or anybody else, and you'll just spend life in prison. Maybe with a possibility, a chance of parole.
If you killed me, I mean, I think.
Can I kill you with my Tim Kaine?
If you kill me with your Tim Kaine, I think $100 fine and a stern warning not to do it again would be sufficient.
I think I could kill you with a MyPillow because then I put it in the washer and the dryer and erase all the DNA, and I could throw some bleach in there and put it on the hot cycle. Not that I've thought about.
No, I appreciate the consideration as you're running the list of options.
Or with a leg of lamb, and then you eat the leg of lamb afterwards. So you eat the evidence. So there's no murder weapon.
Okay, Hannibal Lecter. So if I go missing, everybody out there, please alert law enforcement to the whereabouts of one Amy Jacobson. I'm just saying.
That sounds awful. What is wrong? This is what happens when you go to a Cubs Sox game until 11 o'clock at night and then watch the DNC convention.
I'd rather you get all the poison out than let it fester. John on the South Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Oh, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Listen, The policeman's going to be giving out anything from traffic tickets to auto accident reports, and the minute someone gets pissed off that things didn't go in their favor, they're going to take out their anger on the policeman, and he could possibly get hurt or even killed. With that being said, that's why you make the policeman somewhat of a special citizen, where if you do kill a police officer, then yeah, it's a mandatory death sentence on you. And that's just the way it should go.
So you don't.
Amy, we really need you to swing around a little bit and push Trump a little more. We need him. The country needs him. The state and the city needs him.
All right.
Well, hey, John, let me ask you this though. So you're saying it should be mandatory death penalty, not it's not just a capital case with the possibility of the imposition of the death penalty. You're saying mandatory death penalty.
I think so, but of course, due process should come into play.
Right. Okay. Thanks for the call, John. Jim and Joliet.
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, Jim.
I like that idea, except I would add one more category that just seemed to have left out, and that's the correctional officer. If you've got a guy who's locked up with life for life without the possibility of parole, and he kills another officer, what are you going to do? Give him another life sentence?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Jim. But this is where we get into. I mean, I guess you get into this. Okay, what about correctional officers? Okay, I see the argument.
Right.
But then, what about this next category?
What
of
about security
persons?
guards?
What about that
bank security guards? It goes on and
What
on.
about radio talk show hosts whose lives have been threatened on the air recently? Scott on the south side.
I just laid out a plan. It wasn't a threat.
Right.
Okay.
Scott on the south side.
Scott's not.
Hey, I've been in law enforcement for 21 years, in law enforcement currently. I have no problems with the death penalty for anybody that unlawfully kills somebody, and you can even expand it to rape. I have no issues with that either.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Scott. Yeah, I mean, I understand the attractiveness of the death penalty. Just remember...
an eye for an eye.
Well, but remember, for people that have great suspicions about the state and its judicious use of its power, do you want to empower the state with the decision, life or death? That's part of my opposition to the death penalty.
Right, and then you think about the people that have been on death row that were exonerated, that DNA finally cleared them. But if that DNA technology wasn't there, they'd be dead.
And just because
that's why there was a moratorium on the death penalty, because of George Ryan.
And just because we have had technological advances like the DNA testing doesn't mean that prosecutors don't make mistakes. Think about giving Marilyn Mosby the power to prosecute capital cases. And just think about that for a moment.
Chill down my spine.
Tom and Schaumburg.
If you murder a decent person, somebody that doesn't have a felony conviction, you suffer the death penalty. If you murder another gangbanger, maybe life without parole or something. But if you murder somebody who has led an exemplary life and has no felony convictions, you're going down.
All right, Tom.
I want you to kill every golfer on the course.
Check me if I'm wrong, Sandy, but if I kill all the golfers, they're going to lock me up and throw away the key.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Coming up next, do you know this children's book? Hillary Clinton does. But first, here's your forecast. We're going to have mostly sunny skies today, a passing shower or thunderstorm, a high of 76 degrees. Saturday looks okay. It's going to be cloudy, though, with a shower. Saturday is going to be more clouds than sun. No shower in the forecast, a high of 76 degrees. And on Sunday, the better of the weekend, it's going to be partly sunny and a high of 80 degrees. Let's get the travel times. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Metro reports delays on the Union Pacific Northwest line with a tree down at the Pingree Road area. I-65 northbound stop and go 93rd Avenue to 30 in Merrillville. There's a crash there in the left lane. Big delays on the Ryan outbound in the express lanes. A crash at Pershing has 3 left lanes blocked. Delays start around 31st, but the locals are fine. Inbound, you're looking at 26 minutes, 95th to downtown. Eden's 20 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 21. The Kennedy is 30 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 23. The Eisenhower is a 42-minute drive from Thorndale to the post office, outbound 31. Stevenson bottled up Harlem to Pulaski with a crash on the right shoulder, 50 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36. Northbound Tri-State delays are from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. And Jim Talamonte of the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
I'm Keith Peters in for Lou Dobbs. New roadblocks for home ownership.
Freight railroads may be forced to help competitors, and Allegiant Air pilots ratify a new contract. Those stories next.
Bill Bennett here to tell you about Augusta Precious Metals. What if you could store your IRA or 401k where you can see, touch, and hold it in person in the form of physical gold and silver coins? I know I would, and you can't do that with stocks. With the Augusta Gold and Silver IRA, you can transfer retirement savings into physical coins and store them where you can actually see them. Free shipping, zero management fees, and Augusta pays all upfront costs. Getting started is absolutely free. Rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau, enjoys a 98% five-star customer satisfaction rating with TrustLink.org. Trust Augusta. Call toll-free 1-855-222-6993 now for your free guide to Augusta Gold IRAs. Call toll-free 1-855-222-6993. That's 1-855-222-6993 or visit AugustaPreciousMetals.com.
There's fresh evidence that rising property prices, high rents, and stagnant pay have made it harder for many to buy a home. The Census Bureau says just 62.9% of households owned a home in the April-June quarter this year. That equaled the homeownership rate in 1965. Las Vegas-based Allegiant Air pilots ratified a new contract after a fight during which the union accused the low-fare carrier of taking safety shortcuts. The Teamsters said Thursday that the 5-year contract includes immediate pay raises of up to 31% and better benefits and scheduling rates. Freight railroads could soon be forced to allow competing railroads to serve some customers along their tracks if federal regulators approve a new rule. The rule proposed by the Surface Transportation Board would only apply to certain companies that don't have many shipping options. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. I'm Keith Peters for the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
If you could quickly and painlessly clear your psoriasis or vitiligo, would you?
No matter how big the psoriasis is, no matter how small the psoriasis, we can help you.
Ashley is a clinical specialist for Extract, the amazing in-office treatment for psoriasis and vitiligo that's clinically proven to show immediate results with up to 95% clearance.
What my patients love most about the Extract treatments is it's safe, it's FDA cleared, and they're seeing results very quickly.
End the embarrassing, painful patches and discoloration with Extract. There's no medications, no topical ointments, and virtually no side effects. Extract uses light to transform your skin and change your life. It's covered by all major insurances and Medicare and will help you find a doctor close by.
I love what I do. I love coming in every day and making a difference in patients' lives. It's amazing.
Call now to live Extract Clear. Call 800-978-3554. That's 800-978-3554. 800-978-3554 or visit xtracradio.com. Qualified patients, certain restrictions apply.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I've been taking 4 a day of the fruits and vegetables, and I have hypogammaglomerulia. Basically, you have antibodies in your body, IgA, IgM, and IgG. And somewhere along the line, my body stopped making them. So I don't have any resistance to infection. But I've been taking fruits and vegetables since we started, which I think is well over a year now. And the doctor can't believe that I've not had infections and flus. And he told me, whatever I'm doing, keep doing. So that's what I'm doing.
Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code CHICAGO.
Hey, you've heard me talking about my good friends at Guardian Security Services for a few months now. And if you haven't called them yet, what are you waiting for? If you're unhappy with your door staff or on-site security officers at your gated community or residential high-rise, man, don't tolerate it. And certainly don't renew your contract for 2017. Instead, get a quote from Guardian Security Services. I put my name behind these guys because I love them and I really trust them. They only assign the most professional, highly trained door staff and security officers in all of Chicagoland. Schedule a free security assessment with my friends at Guardian Security Services. Get a contract quote for next year. Right now, call 708-385-3300. That's 708-385-3300. Tell them me, Joe Walsh, sent you, or go online at GuardianSecurityInc.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, Apple iTunes, and other outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you. Printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-501-3689 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit. Again, 800-501-3689.
This is John Greenhut, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, Power Swabs is the answer. In 5 minutes, you'll see 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. Even better, there's no messy strips or trays that you'll have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes, and you're done. To try Power Swabs, call 1-800-679-0969. Your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free. 1-800-679-0969. That's 1-800-679-0969.
Hey, looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing mortgage? Then you need to do what I did and call David Hochberg, Vice President of Lending at Pearl Mortgage. Patrick's heard David's ads but wanted to contact a realtor before purchasing a home in Skokie. Bad move. Not getting pre-qualified by David before speaking with a realtor is like getting a vasectomy from a urologist without an ice machine. Wow, really? This happened to David. Not good. So David pre-qualified Patrick to purchase a home and introduced him to Laura Shu, his Home Sweet Home Chicago radio show, Chicago and North Shore Realtor, to purchase that home. If you want to work with the best in the business, call David Hochberg right now, 312-751-1333, or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee, 4358 NMLS 19186. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Katy Perry serenades Hillary Clinton with I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It at 7:07.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, San Diego is in mourning this morning. A police officer shot and killed another badly hurt. Fox News with the latest on that developing story this morning. Police involved in shootings on Chicago's South Side. A woman struck by lightning in Bolingbrook. And the Cubs are in a split with the White Sox. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
Fox News Radio, I'm Dave Anthony.
When there are no ceilings, the sky's the limit.
Hillary Clinton from First Lady to first woman to be a major presidential nominee.
Don't let anyone tell you that our country is weak. We're not.
She says America will make progress, and as she has a plan to defeat ISIS, and Clinton reached out to Bernie Sanders supporters.
I want you to know, I've heard you. Your cause is our cause.
And she took aim at her Republican rival.
Enough with the bigotry and the bombast. Donald Trump's not offering real change. He's offering empty promises.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers live at the just wrapped up Democratic Convention in Philadelphia.
Well, Dave, there were several jabs at Donald Trump.
Imagine him in the Oval Office facing a real crisis. A man you can bait with a tweet is not a man we can trust with nuclear weapons.
And she talked about her decades of experience looking ahead to her agenda, including a jobs program.
We're going to make sure this economy works for everyone, not just those at the top.
Now, following a midday rally today at Temple University, Clinton and her running mate will kick off a weekend bus tour in Pennsylvania and Ohio.
Now, Tanya, Donald Trump will campaign in Colorado. He tweeted several rebuttals during Clinton's speech last night, calling her corrupt. After telling a rally in Iowa, some Sanders supporters will back him.
We're going to have a tremendous Democrat crossover.
A police officer is dead in San Diego, shot late last night, along with another officer who's just out of surgery and expected to survive. Police Chief Shelley Zimmerman says it was right after a traffic stop.
They called for emergency cover. Other officers were in the area. They arrived shortly on scene and found both of our officers suffering from gunshot wounds.
One suspect is in custody. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Clouds and sun, 72 degrees. It is 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. One person is dead, another hurt following two separate police shootings on Chicago's South Side. Authorities say the first incident happened near Marquette and May last night when officers opened fire at a robbery suspect. The victim hospitalized in fair condition. Less than 1 hour later, near 74th and Merrill, officials say a person was shot and killed by police while trying to flee from a traffic stop in a vehicle that was stolen in Bolingbrook. An inmate recovering following a hostage situation at the Cook County Jail. 2 inmates held another hostage for several minutes with a sharp object in the maximum security tier of that jail. The situation was actually resolved several hours later. A woman fighting for her life after she was struck by lightning in Bolingbrook. Police say it happened while the victim was walking in the 300 block of Janes Avenue. That woman remains hospitalized in serious condition this morning, suffering from severe burns. Governor Rauner is looking for a new company, a private company, to run the Illinois lottery, saying yesterday he's seeking bids for a firm to take over the program that has been run very poorly for years. A giant fish that once swam from the Gulf of Mexico to northern Illinois is going to make a comeback. Biologists are restocking the alligator gar in several states where it disappeared about a half century ago. Partly in hope is that it will be a powerful weapon against Asian carp. The invasive species has been swimming almost unchecked toward the Great Lakes for decades. Turns out the alligator gar have a major taste for Asian carp. They also dwarf the invaders. Asian carp can grow 4 feet long and 100 pounds. Alligator gar can grow 9 feet long and weigh 300 pounds. Cubs over the White Sox 3-1. John Lackey over Chris Sale in a good pitching outing. The news service of Burger King grilled dogs. Where are you going to get that delicious grilled hot dog? Your backyard? Nope, Burger King. Burger King grilled dogs are made with 100% beef, flame grilled to perfection. Pick up a grilled hot dog today at participating Burger King restaurants. Flame grilling hot dogs since 2016. Our time is 7:04. Time to check the climate of your business with aircomfort.com. 80 years of quality mechanical service for your business. And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Change in the market shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. In fact, since World War II, we've seen a correction on average about once every 18 months. That's why Arlington Capital Management developed proprietary tools that help them to see what's beyond your investment horizon. Like an experienced ship captain uses tools to avoid stormy weather, Arlington Capital Management uses tools to guide you through market corrections before it's too late and help us decide when to capitalize on opportunity. Call Arlington Capital Management today at 855-471-5796 to learn how their active management systems can help you. Each day, they actively explore the market, our economy, and all the variables that affect your investments. Stormy markets never cloud their vision. The professionals at Arlington Capital Management use their tools and experience to guide them. Call Arlington Capital Management today at 855-471-5796 for a financial review. The number again is 855-471-5796 or learn more at arlington-capital.com.
It's National Make-A-Will Month at LegalZoom.com, so it's time to take care of your will or trust. LegalZoom makes it easy. They're not a law firm, so there's no office visits or paying expensive hourly rates. Instead, you could save over $100 with LegalZoom's will or trust estate plan bundles. And if you don't know whether a will or trust is right for you, don't worry. You'll work with an independent attorney available in 48 states to get advice on what you need. Do the right thing this month at LegalZoom.com. LegalZoom.com.
Thousands of people are choosing the flexibility of working when they want, driving with Uber. You'll control your day, plus be able to start earning right away just by driving your own car.
I've got 2 kids. They're both in summer camp, and I'll drop them off. Then I turn on the Uber app, the ride requests come in, and I'm earning extra money. Working when I want, being my own boss. Driving with Uber is definitely the best option for me.
Earn the extra money you need on your schedule. Get started today. Sign up right now. Go to uber.com/drive now. uber.com/drive now.
7:06 in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Mike. Metro reports heavy delays on the Union Pacific Northwest line after there was a tree blocking the tracks at Pingree Road. Trains are now running again in that area, but again, they were behind schedule. The Edens Expressway inbound is pretty light, 19 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 21. The Kennedy is 26 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 28. On Eisenhower, slow First Avenue to Kedzie, 42 minutes, Thorndale to downtown, outbound 32. Stevenson is jammed, Harlem to Pulaski after a crash, 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36. Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 27. The big delays are in the express lanes, from the Stevenson to Pershing, where there's a crash in the 3 left lanes. I-57, Bishop Ford, both fine. And a fun tri-state slow from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan to North Avenue. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Providing the right climate for business since 1935. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, intervals of clouds and sunshine with a shower or thunderstorm in the area. High 76. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a shower or thunderstorm around low 65. More clouds than sun tomorrow, high 76. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Clouds and sun, 72. Next news at 7:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
Good morning. Welcome to your Friday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Tonight, we've reached a milestone in our nation's march toward a more perfect union. The first time that a major party has nominated a woman for president.
There's something else that my mother taught me. Public service is about service.
I will be a president for Democrats, Republicans, independents, for the struggling, the striving, the successful, for all those who vote for me and for those who don't.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We've made herstory. But 312-642-5600, your reactions to Hillary Clinton's speech and the Democrat National Party's convention more generally. Did they accomplish what they needed to accomplish? You suspect that Hillary will get a bump out of the convention like Trump did, and after 2 weeks of the dueling conventions, we'll more or less be back to where we started 2 weeks prior.
Back to name calling and zingers and
that
nasty tweets.
That didn't stop. That has gone on throughout the last 2 weeks as well. But I know something that really pulled at your heartstrings, Amy, as a mom of Peyton and Eli, was when Chelsea was recounting the special relationship she had with her mom. And
her mom was always there for her.
The literature they went over together.
Yeah, well, she's not only a great mom, she's an excellent grandmother who, like, during the middle of campaigning, will stop and FaceTime the grandkids and read an excerpt of, one of your favorite books, Chugga Chugga Choo Choo.
My mom can be about to walk on stage for a debate or a speech, and it just doesn't matter. She'll drop everything for a few minutes of blowing kisses and reading Chugga Chugga Choo Choo with her granddaughter. Chugga Chugga got an applause.
That's cute. You know what's funny about that? Rather ironic.
What?
Bill Clinton also read Chugga Chugga Choo Choo to Monica. So I mean, it's cute with the
with the thing.
and he would blow kisses too.
Well, Chugga Chugga Choo Choo.
And then Monica would return the favor.
Oh, my gosh. What, by bringing him Starbucks coffee?
You know what I mean?
Oh, will you stop it? But you know the lyrics to Chugga Chugga Choo Choo?
I don't. I've never even heard of it until she mentioned
morning's here, up and at 'em, engineer.
Sing it.
Chugga Chugga Choo Choo. Well, yeah, there's a corresponding song. All aboard the choo-choo train. All aboard the choo-choo train.
All aboard the train. Ride it up.
Woo-hoo. Come on,
ride the train.
It's a choo-choo. Coming down the tracks, clickety-clack. Coming down the track, clickety-clack. All aboard, all aboard. Thank you very much, Hillary Clinton.
Oh.
No, it's sweet because her mom is. I don't know if you know this, but her mom, Chelsea's mother, she's funny.
My wonderful, thoughtful, hilarious mother.
She's a scream.
My earliest memory is my mom picking me up after I'd fallen down, giving me a big hug, and reading me Goodnight Moon. From that moment to this one, every single memory I have of my mom is that regardless of what was happening in her life, She was always, always there for me.
And her mom, when she'd go out of town, would leave her a note for every day of the week that she would open up.
Mom?
Yeah.
You want to have a catch?
It was
Chelsea
sweet. Chelsea
also.
was wonderful.
Oh, she's beautiful. She's a delicate flower.
We watched her grow up, and we never heard her voice until now. Now she's,
I remember those days. They were better days. Chelsea also, how does she keep going amidst all the adversity and the difficulty of being in the political arena?
People ask me all the time, how does she do it?
Yeah.
How does she keep going amid the sound and the fury of politics?
That's easy. Easy for the money. That's how she keeps going. So for the money.
Chelsea said she's motivated by serving others.
Yeah.
Not about the money.
Yeah. And how about the reintroduction of Hillary? Were you picking up what she was putting down there? With I get it. People just don't figure me.
But my job titles only tell you what I've done. They don't tell you why. The truth is, through all these years of public service, the service part has always come easier to me than the public part. I get it that some people just don't know what to make of me.
Well, fortunately, the National Review editorial staff knows what to make of her per her effort to reintroduce herself. They opine this morning, in case you don't know what to make of her, here's what you make of her. She's an opportunist without anything resembling a conviction, with the exception of her unwavering commitment to abortion. A quote-unquote public servant who, along with her husband, grew vastly wealthy, exploiting her political connections and renting access to everybody from Goldman Sachs to Vlad Putin. A petty, grasping, vindictive, meretricious time server whose incompetence and dishonesty have been proven everywhere, from Little Rock to Benghazi.
Oh, how do they really feel?
So there you go. Well, I mean, if you wanted to get her.
Well, no, because there was no soaring rhetoric. That's not a speech, again, that anyone's going to really remember. But it was her way of reintroducing herself, trying to make us like her. That's the whole thing. You have to be likable in politics. But she doesn't like people. She even said, a lot of people that are politicians want to help people, but they don't want to be around people. That's why she takes 4 to 5 hour naps in the afternoon, so she doesn't have to hang out with people.
They don't want to help people. They use help as a synonym for lord over. Okay. Hillary doesn't want to help. She wants to rule. There's a big difference. Mark in Plainfield. You're on Chicago's Morning.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I think Hillary must have set a record for the most cliches made in a speech. Boy, talking about saying nothing, everything cliche, talking points. And, it's just a matter of time before Hillary comes up with the slogan, Kane and unable. And what I think is going to decide the election is if Hillary debates Trump, can Trump get her to crack like Colonel Nathan Jessup did in A Few Good Men?
Sure.
I can just see her shrieking, you can't handle it, sir.
Thanks for the call, Mark. And you're gosh darn right she ordered the code red. All right.
Did anybody bother to wake up Bill Clinton? Because he was falling. I'm not kidding you. I'm sure you've seen it. If not, it's on YouTube.
Yeah,
he fell asleep during his wife's speech.
He's tuckered out. It's been a long week.
I know, but
and that was a long speech.
He didn't look good. That's not a good look. Because at first I thought, oh no, he's not nodding off, is he? Oh my gosh, he is. Then they cut away from him, and then I think somebody nudged him like, hey, wake up. And then he got up, and then the next cutaway shot of him, he was alert and wondering where he was.
He probably got a stern talking to on the car ride home. Oh, wait, separate cars to separate residences. But I'll tell you what.
But that's a happy couple.
It's still going strong 45 years later, ain't they?
And Bill?
And you?
That conversation we started in the law library 45 years ago. It is still going strong.
Yeah.
That line.
And Bill,
bull jive.
Bill, according to my speechwriters, our conversation is still going strong.
That was a little disingenuous.
Chip in St. Charles, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hillary talks about serving the public, but there's part of that line that she left out in that she serves the public that pays for her campaign. And so, if you want to get something done with her after she's elected, you better start donating to her now I remember when Barack Obama got into office, the whole first year was paying back the people who got him elected, and Hillary's list of people that she has to pay back is about 5 times longer than that of Barack Obama. So I figure somewhere in the 3rd or the 4th year of her first term, maybe she'll have those people paid back, and she'll be able to start doing something for the American people other than the gays, lesbians, and Black Lives Matter.
Thanks for the call, Chip. Yeah, she serves the public at exorbitant rates, no question. Dennis in Crystal Lake.
How's it going, Dan? Hey, the least she could have done is at least for Ty Woods, Glenn Doherty, Ambassador Stevens, and his aide, is sing them chugga chugga choo choo before they got their heads blown off. Yes. You know, she could have done that. She didn't send anybody to save them. So, you know, a little chugga chugga choo choo would have sent them to heaven with a very nice note.
All right, Dennis.
This is the chugga chugga choo choo. Look, you can sing.
Engineer, chugga chugga choo choo, we so blowing.
I can see Bill singing this to Monica right now in my mind.
Stop it.
Rick on the Northwest Side.
Hey, yeah, just like to say you guys rock, especially you, Dan. Amy, I sometimes think you chase the whatever shiny objects in the room, but I more than the convention, I wanted to talk about the news service here. You know, between your breaks at the hour and the half hour, it's kind of hard to tell what station we're on anymore. It's a good 10 minutes of Hillary clips in a very favorable light. I think most of the people here on this station listen because it's you know, it's an escape from that. I can go anywhere.
Hillary spoke yesterday. She accepted the nomination. And she delivered a 60-minute speech. So
yeah, I mean, you know, thanks for the call, Rick. I appreciate it and appreciate you listening.
Can't ignore that it happened.
No, I mean, and it's, you know, also you just have to separate. You know, we offer opinions and analysis and
song and dance
and song and dance and you know, the full range of entertainment options and
children's books.
And Mike Scott's the serious newsman. You know, we're just, you know, a couple of dancing monkeys over here. Mike in Lamont, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hello?
Hey, Mike.
Oh, it's Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, Bob.
Did you notice that there must have been some virus in the air or something, but President Obama sounded like Mr. Ed on Tuesday, and Hillary, Chelsea also sounded like Mr. Ed. Wilbur! The way the voice constantly did that machine gun type. Did you notice that?
Yeah, the kind of the giggling while she's talking.
She was trying not to cry. She even told Matt Lauer.
Those were very good Mr. Ed imitations, I must say.
Thanks for the call.
Well,
Mike, don't call me Frank. Frank, don't call me Mike.
Thanks for the call, Steve. No, she even said on the Today Show with Matt Lauer that it's going to be hard for her not to cry. So I think when her voice was cracking a little bit, she was trying to control herself.
Yeah. A nice moment. Ralph and Rantoul.
Yeah, Dan, I think you were half right. Good morning, Dan and Amy.
Good morning.
When you said that Hillary's in it for the money, I also think that she's in it just to collect the souls of the damned and the stupid that she hides in some chest someplace, because she just sucks the life out of everything. Or when she started speaking, I felt like Obi-Wan Kenobi, where I felt sorrowful, like the loss of millions. I thought something just happened in the earth when she came out in her white Death Star uniform. The only thing that was missing the only thing that was missing is like those big gold Kim Il-sung, you know, sort of sunglasses with kind of this raised up haircut and a row of fake medals across her chest.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Ralph. I mean, I have termed the ticket of Hillary and Kane Screw Tape and Wormwood.
Screw Tape and Wormwood?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Little C.S. Lewis. Yeah. I think we need a little C.S. Lewis these days.
Uh-huh.
Sean from Elmwood Park, here we go.
No. Listen, for 40 years, this woman has been wretched. Rose Law Firm, where she was called the Shredder. She defended the child molester. Whitewater, where they scammed old people, a la Trump University. And I'll tell you another thing that no one is talking about. How could you have a woman steeped in money scandals? And I'm going to tell you, do you know what year Cattlegate was, Dan? You know, nobody talks about this. You know what year it was?
Gosh, I don't know, 96?
78.
Oh, when it actually happened. Yeah.
78, they absconded with Tom Dittmer's help, the Chicago scumbag, whose wife mysteriously became an ambassador to Paris afterwards. $100,000 when they were both know-nothings, and their combined income was $70,000. And now she's going to reintroduce herself. And what's really sickening is watching a Weekend at Bernie's, Bill Clinton, try to stay awake during this thing. That syphilis is really kicking his dairy.
Early onset. Yeah, early onset. It's attacking the brainstem.
I'm telling you, he's not long for this planet. He did not look good.
This could have really been easy. It really could have been. But the problem is you had a caller, when I first got up and went to the gym, you had a caller who woke up and said, you know what's happened is the mentality of the people have really dropped. And you know why? It's because of callers who refuse to listen to criticism of candidates they demigod. It's despicable to me that we now have callers on our station, a station where we do have the answer, a station where the level of IQ is supposed to be a little higher than the NPR, who don't want to hear any criticism of their own bell-bottom, Viagra-ridden guy, because this is a guy you shoved down our throat. This is the guy who we told you for a year is the only one that you could lose to, the only one. And you put them up, and now nobody wants to hear criticism. Well, you can't have it both ways. For 40 years, we're in a cockroach race, and you can have the one to the left or the one to the right, but we're all going to lose.
All right,
it's not too late. These are two social clubs. Throw them both out and start over.
Thanks for the call, Sean. And, I mean, that's how angry Sean is after his yoga class.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
So while Sean was talking, I went to Bill Clinton Town. I took a little nappy noopy. Yeah, a little siesta. Hey, today. Yeah, thank you. You might want to take a siesta, but you might want to cover yourself because we're going to have a passing shower or thunderstorm today. A high of 76 degrees tonight. A shower or thunderstorm. And your weekend looks okay. No rain either day. More clouds than sun on Saturday. A high of 76. And on Sunday, it's going to get warm. A high of 80 degrees. Anything heating up on the roadways this Friday morning? Here's Jim Telemonte.
Maybe the outbound Rhine is, and that's unusual at this time of day, but there's a crash at Pershing in the express lanes, and the express lanes are now closed, so traffic is stopped and not moving at all between 35th and Pershing, and there are delays in the locals as well. On the outbound side of the Rhine, again, the express lanes are closed entirely. In inbound, there are a few gapers, but in general, it's mainly slow from 35th into downtown. Travel time is about 24 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 22. The Kennedy, 26 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 31. The Eisenhower's 45 minutes from Thorndale to the post office, outbound 39. Stevenson, 47 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36. Northbound tri-state delays from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
Oh, our friends at Turnkey IT are happy this morning because they're huge Cub fans, and I know they went to the games last night when the Cubs beat the White Sox. And I don't know if you've heard about this, but they have world-class support and customizable plans for businesses that have 5 to 100 users. With some programs, you get all new equipment, free security, and antivirus protection. Sound good? Then why haven't you called Turnkey IT? Well, here's Turnkey IT's best offer yet. Through the summer months, all AM 560 listeners receive their first month of service for just $1. That's right. Your business receives comprehensive coverage, including unlimited help desk, on-site support, network hosting, antivirus protection, and its first contracted month for just $1. Ready to make the switch? It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro today. That's turnkey.pro.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Mark Weingart, President and CEO of Star Creations, Inc., the fastest growing supplier of wall decor products in the U.S. When it comes to banking, I don't want to be a small fish in a big pond. That's why I bank at Signature Bank Chicago. At Signature Bank, every customer is important. I know I can pick up the phone and talk to any one of the decision makers I know and trust at Signature Bank. At Signature Bank, they understand and respond to the unique needs of my business with flexibility and fairness. I'm proud to bank with Signature Bank because I know they're deeply invested in the success of Star Creations.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mike Rowe here with a quick IAQ test for my buddy Bill.
Wait, I didn't study.
IAQ stands for Indoor Air Quality, something 1 hour excels at.
Well, I aced my SATs, so...
Yes or no? Do you breathe inside your home?
Yeah.
And what do you breathe?
Air.
And what's in that air?
Air?
Sorry, we were looking for dust mites, household pollutants, even formaldehyde.
Wait, I need to move.
Or you could call 1 hour and improve your IAQ.
That sounds smarter.
Let's see how you do with the disclaimer.
Each independent franchise is licensed in its respective state or county.
Not bad.
AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, fabulous T-Birds. I love it. Dan and Amy.
Are you going to sing again?
No.
Now that you've hit the high notes?
Islands in the Stream. That's my
Why didn't we
solo
sing that
performance
at
today.
karaoke when we were in Los Cabos?
We should have.
Puerto Los Cabos. Hola!
I want to be fair here, and there were some strong moments for the Democrats at their convention, particularly last night. And perhaps the strongest moment the entire convention was offered by the father of a Muslim soldier, a U.S. Muslim soldier, killed in action. The father's name, Khizr Khan, and he had this to say to Mr. Trump.
Donald Trump, you're asking Americans to trust you with their future. Let me ask you, have you even read the United States Constitution? I will gladly lend you my copy.
And he held up a copy of the U.S. Constitution, his copy, and he also said, "You have sacrificed no one, you have sacrificed nothing." It was a powerful moment, and respect his family's sacrifice, his son's service to our country. But I would also suggest that he lend that copy of the Constitution to the nominee that he's supporting.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
If you could quickly and painlessly clear your psoriasis or vitiligo, would you?
No matter how big the psoriasis is, no matter how small the psoriasis, we can help you.
Ashley is a clinical specialist for Extract, the amazing in-office treatment for psoriasis and vitiligo that's clinically proven to show immediate results with up to 95% clearance.
What my patients love most about the Extract treatments is it's safe, it's FDA cleared, and they're seeing results very quickly.
End the embarrassing, painful patches and discoloration with Extract. There's no medications, no topical ointments, and virtually no side effects. Extract uses light to transform your skin and change your life. It's covered by all major insurances and Medicare, and will help you find a doctor close by.
I love what I do. I love coming in every day and making a difference in patients' lives. It's amazing.
Call now to live Extract Clear. Call 800-978-3554. That's 800-978-3554. 800-978-3554, or visit xtracradio.com. Qualified patients, certain restrictions apply.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
You tell me things, I believe them. Don't put anything in front of me that you don't want me to read. And I'm now going to read this.
Mrs. Bergen.
Yes. If you've been putting off purchasing your first firearm or maybe adding to your collection, here's a great offer from Schrank Smoke and Gun, and you have to act quickly. In July only, purchase any store-owned firearm and receive 2 free boxes of range ammo. Such a deal. And the selection is great because Schrank's carries the largest selection of new, used, and consignment firearms in Lake County, including pistols, rifles, shotguns, hard-to-find calibers, collectibles, and older functioning hunting rifles. Plus, Schrank's has full gunsmith services, so plan ahead for hunting season. Now, if you love cigars, check out Schrank's humidors, and don't miss the July deal of 2 free boxes of range ammo when you purchase.
To accomplish, we'll put that question to Lynn Sweet, D.C. Bureau Chief for the Chicago Sun-Times at 7:37.
And you don't want to miss Katrina Pearson, Trump's campaign manager. She'll join us at 8:08. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, a police officer is dead. Another severely hurt. Shot in San Diego last night, where Chief Shelley Zimmerman says it all happened around 11 Pacific time.
Had put out that they had made a stop, and almost immediately, just so shortly after they put out that they were making a stop, that they needed emergency cover.
Both officers were working with a gang unit. Police say they were shot multiple times. One person is in custody. This morning, after the death of the San Diego police officer, Donald Trump's campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, says this and other recent related events are the result of failed leadership under the Obama administration.
Too often making the police and the law enforcement agencies into the bad guys. I mean, they're not the bad guys. Now everybody's on the right message, including the administration.
Manafort on Fox and Friends this morning. Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton wrapped up the Democratic National Convention last night, targeting Donald Trump, saying he doesn't understand what makes America great.
It comes down to what Donald Trump doesn't get. America is great because America is good.
Trump campaigning in Iowa saying Supreme Court appointments will be a big part of the upcoming election.
And if she gets in, she's going to put on super liberal judges, and our country will never be the same. It will never, ever recover. It can't recover from that. It will not be able to recover.
Trump on WHO radio in Des Moines. A new study this morning says secondhand marijuana smoke is more dangerous than tobacco smoke. Researchers at the University of California, San Francisco have done the research and found that secondhand smoke from marijuana cuts blood vessel function as much as secondhand smoke from tobacco, but lasts longer. Person is dead, another hurt following two separate police shootings on Chicago's South Side. Authorities say the first incident happened near Marquette Road in May. Less than an hour later, a traffic stop near 74th and Merrill resulted in one person being shot and killed by police who was trying to flee from a stolen car. Chicago sports, Cubs over the White Sox, 3-1. John Lackey outdueled Chris Sale. The news, a service of Burger King's grilled dogs. Where are you going to get that delicious grilled hot dog? Your backyard? Nope, Burger King. Burger King grilled dogs are made with 100% beef, flame grilled to perfection. Pick up a grilled dog today at participating Burger King restaurants. Flame grilling hot dogs since 2016. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas. Best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm 67, so I'm old. I'm doing a job, a very intense job, physical. And I had a headache coming on through, my vision starts going. I was getting a headache, migraine. And I took 3 and 3 of those veggies and fruit. Right. And it disappeared while I was working in about 1 minute. Now that's fabulous because usually when I get a migraine, it goes into so hard I have to lay down. He has me on a hook here as to the value of the product. It's excellent. Don't change it.
Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code CHICAGO.
7:36, Guardian Security Services Traffic Center time. Here's Jim.
Mike, the inbound Edens looks great. 19 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound it's 22, a little heavy Montrose to Toohey. Inbound Kennedy, just 26 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 16 from Montrose, 11 in the Express. Outbound 10 minutes to Montrose, 31 to the airport. The Eisenhower, 45 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. 32 from Manheim, outbound 39 to Thorndale. Stevenson, 43 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38. Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 25. A crash in the express lanes at Pershing has cleared. Northbound Tri-State slow from the Stevenson to 31st. Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Adams Tollway heavy Toohey to Lee. Traffic service CiCi's Pizza. Can you believe it? CiCi's now has 3 stuffed crust pizzas. Original pepperoni, new pretzel, and new bacon stuffed. Try them all and your other CiCi's favorites for just $5 and change. The CiCi's buffet just got better. Believe it. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast From the AirComfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935, a partly sunny day ahead, not as warm, maybe a shower or thunderstorm, and a high of 76. 72 at O'Hare. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
It's Feldco's biggest sale of the year. Get $1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors.
Call 866 for Feldco.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, the assessment of the DNC, will Hillary get the bump they anticipated? After 2 weeks of conventions, will we essentially be in the same place we were prior to the conventions, with each party getting its bump and kind of bringing us back to pre-convention numbers, which is still effectively a statistical dead heat? Here's Peggy Noonan's review of Hillary's speech in particular. I thought this was on point just in terms of kind of understanding what Hillary is going to do and the Democrats are going to do over the next 4 months and what they need to do in order to win. Can't make it a referendum on her. They lose that referendum. They need to make the ballot question about Donald Trump. And Peggy Noonan writes, the big thing we found out in the convention is exactly how Democrats will attempt to dismantle Mr. Trump piece by piece. He's not just reckless, he's ridiculous. A fraud in business, a screwball, unserious and uninformed about policy. That's the Democrat approach to Trump. And you saw and heard pieces of all of those characterizations in Hillary's speech last night, from her reference to Donald Trump's acceptance speech being 70-odd minutes, and I mean odd, to the disagreements about specific policy proposals like the wall on the southern border. Well, for more in terms of the assessment of Hillary's offering as well as the Democrats' offering over the last 4 days, we're now joined by Lynn Sweet, D.C. Bureau Chief for the Chicago Sun-Times. Lynn, thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning. So what is the sense in Philadelphia from Democrats who had to kind of paper over some disunity, much like Republicans did, but in terms of how successful their convention was in priming Hillary for the sprint to the finish?
Well, first of all, I think let me just, in terms of the unity, it is very different when you compare the Republicans and the Democrats, because Bernie Sanders endorsed Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, but his supporters did not.
Hold on, that's not true. Not many. This is why it's good to talk. It is not true that his supporters did not support Hillary. Some supporters of Bernie Sanders still were disillusioned with the process, and they protested.
Right.
But didn't some walk out too, Lynn?
No, there's not a substantial walkout. I was in the hall when it happened.
Not a substantial walkout.
No, I didn't see any walkout.
So earlier in the week.
I know you want to dwell.
Wait a second, Lynn. So if you want to address it. But let's just lay out the facts. Earlier in the week, 2,000 people protested outside Philly City Hall. You also had catcalls going on during Leon Panetta's speech, during General Allen's speech, during a Medal of Honor recipient speech. I'm not saying that Bernie Sanders supporters left en masse, but I think it's fair to say there is still discord within the party. Lynn?
I'm trying to get to okay, so I see you. I'm trying to tell you what happened.
So respond to that statement.
Discord in the party doesn't necessarily, and I hope our listeners can bear with me, doesn't necessarily transfer into a vote for Donald Trump. And
didn't say that.
I think I want to make to you that what you saw in the discord is a push by Bernie Sanders supporters to push the Democratic Party to not walk away from certain positions, to battle from within against the TPP. If you talk to Clem Balinoff, who is the head of the Illinois Bernie Sanders campaign, you will not hear somebody who thinks that it's a good idea for Donald Trump to be president of the United States. And that is a different point than the people who then Ted Cruz made, where he suggested where there was something else going on.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if you want to spend all the time. I'm not here to fight with you.
Well, I'm not
But
fighting,
it's
Lynn.
Like, it's like Lynn. Yeah. Okay. So tell me.
So Ted Cruz, in terms of Republicans, if you want to do an apples to apples comparison, so Bernie support.
I kind of not into comparisons. I thought we wanted to talk about the Democratic convention.
Well, you just referenced Ted Cruz and compare and to distinguish it from what happened with Bernie Sanders. So if I could respond to that, a lot of Ted Cruz supporters didn't like what Ted Cruz did, and a lot of Ted Cruz supporters are going to be voting for Donald Trump. So I'm not saying Bernie supporters' disagreements or opposition to Hillary, although some are never Hillary's, is necessarily going to translate into votes for Donald Trump any more than what Ted Cruz did will translate into Cruz voters voting for Hillary Clinton. So I think there is a comparison there.
Okay. I'm not arguing with you.
Okay.
All right. So, Lynn,
what else would you like to know? I want to be helpful.
Hi, Lynn. I know you've covered many conventions. How did this one compare or differ from the other ones that you've covered?
Well, in terms of the staging of a convention, which is something that is, which is not ideological or party oriented, just the production values in Philadelphia were exceptional. That they were able to do, they did the biggest balloon drop I've ever seen in 13 conventions. The commercials they kind of made jabbing at Trump. The videos were very high quality. They even did what they themselves called was a card stunt at the end, kind of for people who went to the University of Illinois. They'll remember Black Eye from their days in Champaign. And so the production values were high. I think the entertainment, if you want to just talk about, again, the production values, they had Paul Simon, Carole King, Katy Perry. So in terms of the show, there was more to it than you had in, I think Philadelphia was just more entertaining on it. And the speakers in the Democratic convention, no matter where you stand politically, are people you basically have heard of. President Clinton, President Obama, Joe Biden, a string of senators. You just didn't have a lot of and that, I think, is something that was a hallmark of Philadelphia.
With respect to Tim Kaine, Hillary's running mate, this is the first time the nation has really paid attention to what Tim Kaine has to say. And really even introducing him, I suspect, to a lot of Democrats who haven't heard him give an extended speech before. Yeah. And I wonder if people came away from Tim Kaine's presentation with an understanding of why Hillary chose him. Is he folding in and Democrats excited about the entire ticket, or are there still some questions about Kaine from the more progressive elements of the party?
Well, it's the same issue where the Bernie Sanders supporters, who are very, very much against trade pacts, in particular the one pending now, the Trans-Pacific Pact, are not happy that Kaine was a supporter of it. However, one of the remedies, short-term perhaps, in the platform is that the Democrats embraced a platform that says the TPP in its current form is unacceptable. So this was a victory for the Sanders forces. Now, I think party platforms are not always rarely translated into legislation or policy, for sure. But I think Hillary Clinton knows that the vote that Tim Kaine had to support the TPP is not an indication of where a Clinton administration would go if she got into the White House.
Now, Hillary Clinton's 60-minute speech, I should say, was a way for her to retell her life story. Do you think that was effective? Do you think people saw the human side of her?
Well, yeah, I think so, especially since Chelsea introduced her. 1996, when the convention was in Chicago, Chelsea was with her father on a whistle-stop train from West Virginia to Chicago, or maybe it was really to Michigan City. I forget where the train stopped, and she was just a kid. And the idea that Hillary Clinton talks so much about her upbringing means that the campaign believes that people, despite her being in the public eye all this time, is unknown. One of the lines you hear from people in the campaign and her surrogates is Hillary Clinton is the most famous person you don't know anything about. And we did a story again the other day, reminding everybody she's from Park Ridge, Illinois. She grew up here. She grew up in your listening area, and what she's about, her childhood memories, her pals, a bunch of whom from Maine South High School came to the convention, are what she's about. People need reintroductions because you have a new generation of voters who grew up always knowing about either Senator Clinton or Secretary of State Clinton, but they may not know much about her.
All right. She is Lynn Sweet. She's the D.C. bureau chief and a columnist for D.C. bureau chief for the Chicago Sun-Times, and a columnist for The Hill. Lynn, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
No, I'm not a columnist for The Hill, but thank you very much
you're not?
for giving me another job.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I thought you were contributing to The Hill now.
Do you want to be?
Okay, you're a D.C. bureau chief and a columnist for the Chicago Sun-Times. There you go. Okay, thanks for the correction.
She has a sweet blog.
Nice to talk to you.
Thanks
thank you for having me on.
Thanks very much, Lynn. Appreciate it. Let's take a couple calls.
Yeah.
Let's go to Christian in Naperville.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Hey, Christian, go ahead.
Okay, so I watched the post-debate coverage on Fox last night, and I don't know if anybody watched it or if you caught this, but Fox definitely took a pivot after Ailes was gone. They took a pivot towards kind of sabotaging Trump after that debate. I mean, I didn't know if I was watching MSNBC or Fox.
Really?
I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, and something I don't know if anybody else caught that, but they had nothing but glowing praise for Hillary in the historic context of what she did, the quality of the speech, the quality of the speakers. And it took until Hannity came on after the initial coverage to kind of get back into the Fox mode. But the reporters even beat him down to the point where I think they had to take a couple of cuts away. It was
Really?
definitely something that has been going on since Ailes has left. I don't know if anybody else caught that.
Thanks for the call, Christian. I didn't see it, so I don't know, but that's interesting.
I just know that the women are not wearing solid colors anymore, too, in case you care.
Well, that's more
Roger
important.
Ailes isn't there dictating pants or skirts.
Oh, boy.
I know.
Tom in Deer Park.
Morning. I lost part of the Lynn Sweet interview when I made the call, but I called because I wanted to ask you, Dan, is she a reporter for the Sun-Times, or is she under the full employ of the DNC or the Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders campaign?
That is.
You were asking her a question, and she refused to not only answer it, but she went on a speech about anti-Trump.
To ask that about a Sun-Times reporter is to be redundant, Tom. The Sun-Times is a propaganda arm of the DNC, but I appreciate the call and the opportunity to clarify that, even though I like Lynn personally. Verlin on the South Side.
Yeah, how y'all doing today? Yeah, that caller was right, man. Every station, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox, man, they all Hillary. I was disgusted. But I want to. You stole my thunder a little while earlier, Dan, with that Muslim guy that handed up the Constitution. So I want to ask you a question, but I want to say I can't critique her speech. So I want to know, how would you combat her speech when their speech is about inclusion and greater together, and the country is still great, and they frame Donald Trump's speech as division, doom and gloom, and make America great again, kind of like a bad slogan, because they saying we already great. So I'm posing the question to you: how would you combat them and defeat their argument?
Thanks for the call, Verlin. Very simple. I put what they have said for the last 4 days against what they have done for the last 40 years. That's how I combat it.
And Lynn Sweet joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, the national spokesperson for the Trump campaign, Katrina Pearson, will be joining us shortly. But first, here's your forecast. We're going to have partly sunny skies today, not as warm, a shower or thunderstorm around, a high of 76. Tonight, a shower or thunderstorm. And for your weekend, no rain in the forecast, but Saturday we'll have more clouds than sun, a high of 76. And on Sunday, more sun than clouds and a high of 80. Let's get those travel times. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Well, things are looking rather bright, Amy and Dan, and that's no spin. It's clear on the inbound Edens. 19 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 25. The Kennedy, just 27 minutes. O'Hare to downtown at 7:52 a.m. Outbound, it's 36 minutes. All the delays are past Montrose. Inbound Eisenhower, 53 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 40. Stevenson, 45 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 40 minutes. Bryant, 21 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 18 after a crash at Pershing. Lakeshore Drive, a little heavy in both directions between 18th and the Stevenson. Northbound Tri-State, slow in pockets from the Stevenson to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Adams Tollway sluggish, Toohey to Lee. Other tollways are still good. Northwest Indiana, just fine. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
Oh, it's time to get out of the suburbs and enjoy the summer at Chicago's lakefront. Visit ChicagoRadioDeals.com and find a fabulous entertainment cruise experience for two on Lake Michigan. For only $150, you'll enjoy a gourmet dinner and a spectacular view of the Chicago skyline aboard the elegant yacht, the Odyssey, at Navy Pier. Now, if you feel like dancing the night away, then you'll love the Spirit of Chicago cruise. $125 for two. Includes dinner and fun in the floating rooftop and dancing while taking in the views of the Chicago shoreline. Or for an evening of casual fun and great food, go aboard the Mystic Blue for only $100 per couple. Enjoy dining, entertainment, and the skyline aboard all these ships in the comfort of climate-controlled rooms. Now, true excitement and a memorable day happen on board the Sea Dogs Thrill Ride, Lakefront Cruise, or Architectural Cruise. Your summer on Lake Michigan is brought to you only by your good friends at ChicagoRadioDeals.com.
How long were you a slave? 5 years. What is your name?
Ben. On August 19th, my family was betrayed by my own brother. On the road to revenge, I won't let him go unpunished. One man was shown the path.
There is a way. Defeat your brother in the arena and free us all.
To redemption.
You can make things right. Chase this kept you alive.
You should have killed me.
I will. No, we haven't fought now, brother!
Ben-Hur, rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters, Real D 3D and IMAX 3D, August 19th.
And now, a moment of objectivism with your Ron Brook and the Ayn Rand Institute.
Economic inequality is growing and will continue to grow. But the question almost no one asks is, who cares? Economic inequality has nothing to do with poverty. In some countries, people are relatively equal and extremely poor. In other countries, like the United States, people are relatively unequal, and the vast majority are, by world standards, extremely rich. Inequality just means there's a gap between what people earn, and that gap can grow, even if every single individual is becoming better off. And that's really the story of capitalism. Economic progress makes us all better off, just at different rates. So who cares about inequality? I don't. For more, see my book with Don Watkins, Equal is Unfair, America's Misguided Fight Against Income Inequality. Visit ARIRadio.com. From the Ayn Rand Institute, I'm your Ron Brook.
This has been a moment of objectivism from the Ayn Rand Institute. To learn more, listen to the Yaron Brooks Show, Saturdays at 4 on AM 560, and visit ARIRadio.com.
Why are Ayn Rand's ideas so compelling? Her worldview, her philosophy, expressed dramatically in her novels Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead, embodies the ideals stated by the Founding Fathers in the Declaration of Independence and sets forth the requirements necessary to achieve a flourishing life. She called her philosophy objectivism and said it was a philosophy for living on Earth. Today, decades after her death, objectivism continues to stir debate and inspire passion for the spirit of individualism and the enduring American dream.
You've heard it. Illinois has the highest taxes in the nation. If you own a home, your mortgage payment is going up. Taxes, homeowners insurance are all increasing. This is Barbara Walters, president of Ameritrust. Think about this.
If your mortgage rate is 3.25% or above,
let's lower your mortgage payment. Anne refinanced and saved $649 per month on her mortgage payment. Alice refinanced and she saved $530 per month. And another couple saved $475 per month. No matter what, your mortgage payment is going to increase. Make the call, find out what your savings can be.
Ameritrust Mortgage. Call 815-459-7303, 815-459-7303, or go to am560myhome.com. Ameritrust Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee number 720, NMLS number 217229.
Hey there, this is Eric Metaxas. Lately, I've been telling you about Liberty University's online degree programs. Liberty University is the world's largest Christian university with over 95,000 students studying around the world through Liberty's online programs. While there are a lot of universities who've jumped into online education, few can deliver on the promise of a quality education with such flexibility, and even fewer can actually point to a graduate of their online program like my friend Morgan from Nashville.
I did it. I actually got my degree from Liberty University. 2 degrees, actually. Not only has this process taught me self-discipline, I've also learned that it is never too late to fulfill your dreams. And I did it all online. I did it, and you can too.
Call Liberty University now at 800-424-9595. That's 800-424-9595, 800-424-9595, or visit liberty.edu/online. Flexible, affordable, possible. Liberty University Online.
I am so glad I did it. I'm just mad at myself for waiting so long. Hi, Amy Jacobson here for CertaPro Painters. You know, our front porch had chipping and peeling. It looked old and run down, but thanks to CertaPro Painters, it looks brand new again. And trust me, my neighbors are happy I did it. And you know, it's not too late to book that painting project. But don't wait. Be sure to get on CertaPro Painters' summer painting schedule today. Call 800-GO-CERTA or visit CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. You know, CertaPro Painters will work around your busy schedule to get your home looking picture perfect for all your summer entertaining. That's why CertaPro Painters says we do painting, you do life. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Whether it's residential or commercial, interior or exterior, it's not too late to get that painting project off your to-do list. Call now, 1-800-GO-CERTA, 1-800-GOCERTA, or visit CertaPro.com today.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Trump tweeted his response to Hillary's speech. We'll get an audio response when Katrina Pearson, as national spokesperson, joins us at 8:08.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, Fox with the latest on the death of a San Diego police officer. That update in just a moment. A woman struck by lightning in Bolingbrook burned severely. Cubs are in a split with the White Sox on a partly cloudy day ahead. WIND Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
Fox News Radio, I'm Dave Anthony.
In America, if you can dream it, you should be able to build it.
Hillary Clinton, now the Democratic nominee, the first woman to do that in a major party and lead the ticket.
Some of you are frustrated, even furious. And you know what? You're right.
Saying Democrats haven't done a good enough job showing that they get what people are going through.
We will empower Americans to live better lives.
Clinton planning what she calls the biggest investment in good-paying jobs since World War II, saying she has a strategy to defeat ISIS. And Clinton called for new gun control. She took aim at her Republican rival.
You really think Donald Trump has the temperament to be commander-in-chief?
And then she added,
he loses his cool at the slightest provocation.
And then she wrapped up the Democratic convention, getting ready now to go out on tour. Along with running mate Tim Kaine, the two candidates will go on a bus tour through Pennsylvania and Ohio through the weekend. Donald Trump will campaign in Colorado today, and now that the conventions are over, both candidates will start getting U.S. intelligence briefings.
So Donald Trump says because of the problems with her email, Hillary Clinton is disqualified from having intelligence briefings. The Democrats saying that because of what Donald Trump said about Russia in emails the other day, he should be disqualified.
Fox's John Roberts. 2 more cops have been shot, this time in San Diego. 1's dead. Fox's Evan Brown has the details live.
Dave, it happened late last night in a San Diego neighborhood. Police haven't said what prompted the violence.
We do have a suspect in custody.
Police Chief Shelley Zimmerman.
The suspect was found somewhat nearby in an open area, ravine-type area.
But the investigation isn't over. Police are still searching the area on foot and with helicopters. The names of the officers involved haven't been made public.
Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Mostly cloudy, 72 degrees. Right now, 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. One person is dead, another hurt following 2 separate police shootings on Chicago's South Side. While the first incident happened near Marquette Road in May, when officers opened fire on a robbery suspect, that victim hospitalized. Less than an hour later, near 74th and Merrill, a serious incident as police had to curb a stolen car. A person riding in that car was shot and killed by police while trying to flee from that traffic stop. A woman fighting for her life. She was struck by lightning in Bolingbrook. Police say the incident happened yesterday. The victim walking in the 300 block of Janes Avenue. The woman hospitalized in serious condition this morning, suffering from severe burns. A fire at a Northern Illinois propane gas business forced the evacuation of the area around that facility and attracted crews from 30 suburban Chicago fire departments before being put out at Pinnacle Propane. U.S. Senator Dick Durbin believes Governor Rauner is trying to divide the state. He spoke to reporters after addressing Illinois Democrats at the convention in Philadelphia, saying the governor's doing a disservice to the people of the state by pitting Southern Illinois against Chicago. Cubs over the White Sox 3-1. John Lackey outdueling Chris Sale. Both look pretty good. Lackey's first win since June 8. Jimmy Walker has a one-shot lead heading into day 2 of the PGA Championship. The news is a service of 7-Eleven, and at 8:03, it's time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro, here's Lillian Wu.
From the Fox Business Network, a broad snapshot of the U.S. economy, the second quarter gross domestic product out this morning. In the Eurozone, economic growth slowed in that same time period, possibly affected by uncertainty before the Brexit vote. It rose 0.3%. That's half of the growth in the first quarter, according to Eurostat. Technology earnings continue to roll in. Google parent Alphabet says its quarterly profit soared 24%, driven by consumer shift to mobile devices. Amazon also posting its third consecutive record profit. Spain seeing a surge in tourism, up 12% in the first half of the year. Some of those visitors apparently avoiding Mediterranean destinations because of worries about extremist attacks. And new rules could cut down on the number of calls people get from debt collectors. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau unveiling proposals, which could also give consumers more ways to dispute bills. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Lillian Wu.
It's 8:04 in Chicago. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
It's National Make a Will Month at LegalZoom.com, so it's time to take care of your will or trust. LegalZoom makes it easy. They're not a law firm, so there's no office visits or paying expensive hourly rates. Instead, you could save over $100 with LegalZoom's will or trust estate plan bundles. And if you don't know whether a will or trust is right for you, don't worry. You'll work with an independent attorney available in 48 states to get advice on what you need. Do the right thing this month at LegalZoom.com. LegalZoom.com.
Thousands of people are choosing the flexibility of working when they want, driving with Uber. You'll control your day, plus be able to start earning right away just by driving your own car.
I've got 2 kids. They're both in summer camp, and I'll drop them off. Then I turn on the Uber app, the ride requests come in, and I'm earning extra money. Working when I want, being my own boss. Driving with Uber is definitely the best option for me.
Earn the extra money you need on your schedule. Get started today. Sign up right now. Go to uber.com/drive now. uber.com/drive now.
I'm Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity.
In a 2004 interview on the topic of his faith, Obama was asked for his definition of sin. He answered, "Being out of alignment with my values." Obama told us in 2004 he was his own God. Obama signaled his belief that he is above the law, but the GOP failed to call the question and amplify his answer. Recently, Hillary was asked by Charlie Rose if what she did regarding her private email server was wrong. Hillary answered, quote, "Well, it was wrong because look what it has generated." Wrong only exists for Hillary when an act jeopardizes her inextricably linked political and financial interests. Hillary has already amplified the message that she, too, is her own God. In 2016, then, the GOP would do well to call the question, if you don't want America to become an autocratic theocracy, then you probably shouldn't vote for someone who thinks they're God, right?
"8:06. Hi to the morning rush. Let's get the bad news or the good news in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Mike, it's very good on the Edens if you like light traffic. Believe it or not, it's 19 minutes either way between Lake Cook and Montrose. There's no significant delay. Inbound Kennedy slows Sacramento to the Burn Circle. For this time of the morning, it's very light too, 28 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 30 with delays Montrose to Canfield. Inbound Eisenhower, 53 minutes, Thorndale to the post office, 40 from Manheim, outbound 40 to Thorndale. Stevenson, 45 minutes either way between 355 and Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 18. Northbound Lakeshore Drive, slow from around Soldier Field to Jackson. Northbound Tri-State, delays are from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, Ogden to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Adams Tollway sluggish, 2 to Lee. The other tollways are fine. No delays to report on I-80 or in Northwest Indiana. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Areas of fog for the morning, otherwise clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm in spots today, high 76. A shower or thunderstorm around tonight, low 65. Then tomorrow, more clouds than sun with a high 76 and a clear night, low 63. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 72, next news 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Ayn Rand Institute and the Yaron Brook Show. Heard Saturday afternoons at 4 here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning. Welcome to your Friday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Tonight, we've reached a milestone in our nation's march toward a more perfect union. The first time that a major party has nominated a woman for president.
There's something else that my mother taught me. Public service is about service.
I will be a president for Democrats, Republicans, independents, for the struggling, the striving, the successful, for all those who vote for me and for those who don't.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The Wall Street Journal editorial this morning, hope without change. That's how they characterized Hillary's acceptance speech last night, and I think that's fair. She tried to strike an optimistic tone, but she's an extension of the policy choices of the last 8 years against the backdrop of 70% of the country thinking the country is on the wrong track. So it's a difficult sales job she has. So instead of focusing on her policy agenda and an Obama third term, she's focusing on Donald Trump and trying to disqualify him from office. And she did it in pockets throughout her speech. For example,
well, we heard Donald Trump's answer last week at his convention. He wants to divide us from the rest of the world and from each other. He's betting that the perils of today's world will blind us to its unlimited promise. He's taken the Republican Party a long way, from morning in America to midnight in America.
And Trump tweeted, among other tweets, crooked Hillary Clinton made up facts about me and forgot, quote unquote, to mention the many problems of our country in her very average scream. And it was an average scream. It was a pedestrian scream.
He was listening, and her main objective, I think, last night was obviously she slammed Trump every chance she could, but she was trying to reintroduce herself to the public, to remind people or tell them for the first time her life story, her trials and tribulation, and what brought her to this historic point last night where she became the first female nominee in our history.
There wasn't a lot that was offered by Hillary or most of the other speakers that was surprising. There was a moment, though, last night that was a bit surprising to me, and I think it was perhaps the most absurd moment of the last 4 days, and that's saying something. And unfortunately, because even though he's a liberal, sometimes he stumbles upon a point or two. I think he's generally a thoughtful guy, but he wasn't last night. And the gentleman I'm referring to is Hall of Fame basketball player Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who fashions himself a bit of a social commentator. And he came out and said this.
Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Jordan, and I'm here with Hillary. I said that because I know that Donald Trump couldn't tell the difference.
Because Donald Trump believes all black people look alike because Donald Trump's a racist. That's obviously what Jabbar is insinuating. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hasn't been funny since he was Captain Murdoch in Airplane. Certainly wasn't funny last night. So we got the tweet response. Let's get an audio response. So we're happy to be joined by Katrina Pearson, the national campaign spokesperson for the Donald Trump for President campaign. Katrina, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Good morning. Great to be with you, Dan and Amy.
So the reaction to the approach by Hillary Clinton and the Democrats over the last 4 days to essentially argue Donald Trump is unqualified and some of the to be president, and some of the statements he has made have disqualified him from consideration.
Well, I think, this is really the only line of attack that they have. They can't necessarily talk about Hillary's failed record. But it was interesting. There was kind of a little political bipolarness going on, simply because you would have some individuals mention the founders, they would mention the Constitution, but leave out the fact that we just had Barack Obama, who was struck down by the United States Supreme Court. And I think the most telling aspect of the last 4 nights was the simple fact that there's this idea that somehow America is about doing everything together, which tells you they know nothing about the founders of the Constitution, because we are people who are individuals and people who make choices in their lives, can be and do whatever they want. And this concept that Hillary Clinton herself spoke of about the founders fleeing a king, they were fleeing a government because the king was controlling everything in every aspect of their lives. And that's exactly what the Democrats stand for.
Well, Donald Trump yesterday, I thought he shot himself in the foot when he gets up there in Davenport, Iowa, and says that he wants to hit DNC speakers who made disparaging remarks about him. Quote, saying, I want to hit a couple of those speakers so hard. And that's really not presidential, is it, Katrina?
When he says hit, he means fight back, speak against. And that's typical of Donald Trump. He's always said he will defend himself. If you come after me, I'm going to come after you. If you hit me, I'm going to hit you 10 times harder. That's just normal Donald Trump. And that's true. I mean, you had a lot of individuals, as Dan had mentioned, essentially trying to paint Donald Trump as a racist, taking a page right off of the PowerPoint of the DNC WikiLeaks, when in fact, Donald Trump has been a very highly public figure for 3 to 4 decades now, and all of the sudden, he's a racist. And so that is taken personally, but it's not something that we didn't expect from the Democrats. But to see people who actually know Donald Trump go out there and try to paint him as a racist, is very disconcerting.
One of the themes throughout the last 4 days is, in terms of the focus on Trump, was Trump said our military is a disaster and our military is great. It's not a disaster. You had General John Allen and a number of veterans standing with him yesterday to essentially push back against Trump, make a strong endorsement of Hillary from the military perspective. And I think Trump is sometimes imprecise with language. I think that's fairly clear, and it's a little bit frustrating from my perspective. But it's also clear, isn't it, that Trump, when he says the military is a disaster, he's not denigrating the military. He's suggesting we aren't treating the military like we should, either on the investment side or on the care for veterans after their days of service side. That's kind of the point, and they're purposely misrepresenting it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what they do. Mr. Trump will be at a rally or at a press conference speaking on these very issues, and he will lay out the problem, which is the simple fact that our military has been gutted. Our troops who are stationed elsewhere they're demoralized because the readiness, we're at an all-time low. You can't even get the appropriate equipment because it takes 3-6 months, even a year sometimes, to get our troops what they need, and by that time the equipment's outdated or obsolete. That is a problem with the military, and that's the problem that Mr. Trump lays out. That's why he says it's a disaster, because you can't have a government that puts more time and attention and resources towards illegal aliens in this country when we have soldiers who are abroad putting their lives on the line who can't even get the appropriate equipment that they need to stay safe.
Katrina, what was your reaction to the father of the deceased Muslim soldier? His name was Khan. He gave a powerful speech at the DNC last night, preaching equality and talking to Donald Trump about, here's the Constitution. I want you to have a copy of it. Do you know what Donald Trump's reaction was? Were you with him, or do you have any response to that?
Well, I think everyone sympathizes with any parent who's lost any child for any reason. But we also have to recognize that with 300 million people in this country, it's the President of the United States' job to protect our national security. And we can't sacrifice that responsibility because of people who feel get their feelings hurt behind a policy that is designed to do just that, which is to keep Americans safe. And I didn't even see that live, but I did see it on the news today. And it's unfortunate that that tragedy is being used essentially to tell Americans, again, trying to paint Americans as racist or bigoted because they want to protect themselves from terrorism. I mean, this is a subject that the Democrats didn't even touch. They didn't talk about ISIS or how it came about or effective measures to stop it because, I'm sorry, 15 years of this war with the Middle East, and now they're still not communicating. They still don't have intelligence. The allies still aren't helping. We cannot continue more of the same. So it's truly unfortunate, but it also does highlight this idea that the Democrats are the ones who want to divide because Mr. Trump's policies are solely to protect American citizens,
we're talking
including Muslims.
I'm sorry. We're talking to Katrina Pearson, national spokesperson for the Donald Trump campaign. And so, Katrina, on Monday morning, when most of what has been said and presented over the last couple of weeks dissipates into the ether, we're likely to find ourselves with a race between Trump and Hillary that is in a dead heat. And it seems clear from the last 4 days that the focus of the Democrats is to try and make this a referendum on Donald Trump. What is Donald Trump's market position going to be in the closing sprint with the first debate about 7 weeks away in terms of how he is going to present the choice to the American people and then rinse and repeat so that it takes hold over that time period?
You know what, Dan? It's all going to be about contrast from here on out. There isn't a person in the country who actually believes Hillary Clinton is not going to push through the Trans-Pacific Partnership or shut down the Wall Street corruption or reform education. Everything that she talked about, no one believes she's going to even lift a finger to do it. And so it's really going to be about what a Trump administration would look like. All of his policies, from education reform to immigration reform to foreign policy reform, and really strong, secure border measures so that we can keep our country safe, because if we don't have a border, we don't have a country. I think it's going to be a clear contrast on those policies. You can continue the Obama legacy and pretend that everything's okay, or you can wake up every morning just like we did today and see another police officer shooting.
All right. She is Katrina Pearson, national spokesperson for the Trump campaign. Katrina, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I knew you want to do this. The USS Harvey Milk.
Yep.
It's a possibility, or it's coming.
Yes, it's coming.
It's coming. Milk is here. Here's your forecast, too. Partly sunny today. Not as warm as we're used to. A passing shower or thunderstorm. And then tonight, a chance of a shower. Your weekend looks dry, but cloudy on Saturday, a high of 76. Partial sunshine on Sunday, a little warmer, a high of 80 degrees. Anything pleasant on the roadways? Here's Jim Telemonte.
Smooth sailing on the Edens. Amy and Dan, 19 minutes either way between Lake Cook and Montrose. And Mount Kennedy, slow Sacramento to the Burn Circle. 31 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 21 from Montrose, 18 in the Express. Outbound 10 minutes to Montrose, 30 to the airport. The Eisenhower, 53 minutes, Thorndale to the Loop. 40 from Mannheim, outbound 40 to Thorndale.
Wait a minute, I know you. You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You play basketball for the Los Angeles Lakers.
I'm sorry, son, but you must have me confused with someone else. My name is Roger Murdoch. I'm the co-pilot.
You are Kareem. I've seen you play. My dad's got season tickets. I think you're the greatest, but my dad says you don't work hard enough on defense.
Other toys are fine. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
No matter who wins the presidential race, this is the most unusual election in our lifetimes. One candidate is an egomaniacal, scandal-plagued celebrity who can't go a day without spouting falsehoods. The other is a reality TV star. Good grief. So laugh, don't cry by spending an evening with acclaimed author and humorist P.J. O'Rourke and Friends of Liberty from across America at the Heartland Institute's 32nd anniversary benefit dinner. The Heartland Institute has worked to advance free markets and individual liberty, and P.J. O'Rourke has kept America laughing while advancing these principles.
Freedom of speech is important. If you have anything to say, I checked on the internet. Nobody does.
Hear P.J.'s unique and hilarious perspective on the election of our lifetime. times. Early bird rates end July 31st, so act now and save 20% on tickets, tables, and a VIP reception. Call 312-377-4000 or visit heartland.org. This can't miss event is September 15th in Palatine. That's 312-377-4000.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I had gout in both my knees, and it's gone.
Well, I'm pretty stupid. I should have ordered it 15 years ago. Best thing I ever got in my. It's the most effective product that I've ever bought in my life.
He had eczema on his hand, and it cracked for years. He did anything from doctor, every cream, everything. And 3 months on the veggies and fruit, it was gone.
They're just awesome. They keep asking me, what am I doing? I told them what I did with my cholesterol. I had the blood test, right? And it went down 100 points. 262, now it's 162. Everything is just perfect.
Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Call now, 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer. Your money. Find out how to keep more of it and live debt-free. Tonight on The Dave Ramsey Show, starting at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
Wait a minute. I know you. You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You play basketball for the Los Angeles Lakers.
I'm sorry, son, but you must have me confused with someone else. My name is Roger Murdoch. I'm the co-pilot.
You are Kareem. I've seen you play. My dad's got season tickets. I think you're the greatest, but my dad says you don't work hard enough on defense.
Yeah, tell your dad to try carrying Walton and Lanier up and down the court for 48 minutes. That was back when I liked Lou Alcindor / Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And now you don't like him anymore.
Well, what he said yesterday
Yeah,
at
that
the
was
convention.
ridiculous.
This is just silly. It's beneath him, actually, to say it. But apparently it wasn't. Tim in Lake Bluff, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hey, Tim.
Hello?
Hey, Tim.
Take out speaker here.
There you go.
Are you ready, Tim?
Okay, Tim. You're on.
Hi, Dan and Amy.
Hi.
I had a flash of rare moment of candor from Hillary last night regarding the Long March. When she said, our nation's march towards a more perfect union. I think she betrayed her Alinskyite background. I just wanted to serve that up to you and see what you had to say about that.
Yes, thanks for the call, Tim.
Familiar with?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, the long march to a more perfect union, that was the predicate for her saying the first female major party nominee for president of the United States. It was her Michelle Obama version of I'm finally proud of my country, or for the first time I'm proud of my country. It's kind of that iteration, the long march. Kurt in Park Ridge.
You know, every time they mention Trump not being fit to be president, all you have to do is point to how Hillary caused Benghazi. The ambassador was begging her for security. She never gave it to him. Other countries were leaving the region. And then when the actual event happened, they sat on their hands and let our ambassador get killed, let those heroes get killed there, and then tried to cover it up with a video. And she thought she could get away with it because she knows the media will help her cover up any problem that she causes. I mean, she's not fit to do anything except be in a jail cell.
Thanks for the call, Kurt. I want to switch gears and get to this story. The Navy, U.S. Navy, set to name a ship after gay rights icon of sorts, I guess.
Well, in San Francisco, he definitely is.
Harvey Milk.
Yeah. You saw the movie Milk, right? Sean Penn won an Academy Award for it.
Of course he did. This is...
Will he be on the ship?
This was a notification signed by the Secretary of the Navy, former liberal congressman, now liberal Secretary of the Navy, Ray Mabus. He indicating he intended to name a planned military seacraft command fleet oiler USNS Harvey Milk. The ship would be the second of the John Lewis class oilers being built by General Dynamics. John Lewis, of course, civil rights leader, congressman, now Democrat congressman from Georgia, who was also given that honor. And what do you think about naming a naval vessel after Harvey Milk?
Did he spend any time in the military?
Yes, he was I think he reached the lieutenant grade in the Navy, I believe, if I'm recalling correctly. But he definitely was enlisted in the Navy.
What do you think of it, Dan? Are there others more deserving than Harvey Milk?
Well, I think there are. I mean, just a little bit of color on Harvey Milk that you didn't get from the Sean Penn portrayal. One is that he was a pederast. He had a live-in relationship with a 16-year-old boy. Two is that he was a big fan of Jim Jones, as in
drink the red Kool-Aid, Jim Jones?
That's the Jim Jones.
He was a fan. Who was a fan of Jim Jones?
I'm quoting Harvey Milk here, writing to President Jimmy Carter 7 months before the Jonestown mass suicide. Reverend Jones is widely known in the minority communities here and elsewhere as a man of the highest character, who has undertaken constructive remedies for social problems which have been amazing in their scope and effectiveness. That's Harvey Milk describing cult leader Jim Jones.
Well, they say he was raised by a Navy family, and he was a diving officer in San Diego for the Korean War until he was honorably discharged as a lieutenant junior grade.
He's also presented as some kind of martyr for the gay community. Recall that he was not murdered because he was gay. He was murdered for political reasons by a political opponent who wanted the supervisor seat back that Harvey Milk occupied. So, I guess when it comes to honorifics like naming of military vessels, I guess I'd run the list of, Medal of Honor recipients and other people who've performed heroically for the country in military service, or other people who have had transcendental impact in advance of the principles upon which this country was founded. I think Harvey Milk would be kind of way down the list. And you'll note for the record that I avoided any semen jokes there.
Oh, Dan.
Will and Skokie are on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, guys. Do you think it's fitting that the ship they're naming after him is a Fleet Oiler?
Okay.
Now I've opened the floodgates.
Oh, no.
As it were.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
Ever notice that the last three letters in American spell can? Maybe that's why we want to say we can shop online, we can use free Wi-Fi, and we can give our social security number and other personal information to our bank if we want to. But the fact that we can do all of those things exposes personal information that can lead to identity theft. At LifeLock, we believe you have the right to be free to do everything you do every day. So we use proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a huge variety of identity threats. And we have a US-based team who will work to resolve issues if your identity ever is stolen. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, you can live with more peace of mind. Membership starts at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. And if you become a LifeLock member now, you can get 10% off. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code NEWS. LifeLock.
AM 560, The Answer.
And coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
If you're a resident of Chicago, you think you own your property, but you don't, particularly if you want to participate in the share economy through services like Airbnb. We'll have the story from a local real estate attorney at 8:38.
And later, our good friend is here, David Hochberg, how you could help get a veteran a home, a place to live. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, 72 Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton took the stage last night and insisted in Philadelphia that America is great because America is good.
That's why Stronger Together is not just a lesson from our history. It's not just a slogan for our campaign. It's a guiding principle for the country we've always been and the future we're going to build.
Closing the DNC in Philadelphia, Clinton took direct aim at Republican nominee Donald Trump. One San Diego police officer is dead, another hospitalized after they were shot last night. Police say one suspect is in custody. Chief Shelley Zimmerman.
I'm extremely heartbroken to report that we had an officer shot and killed.
Zimmerman says that second officer shot is undergoing surgery and a suspect is in custody.
The scene is still active. We do have a suspect in custody. The suspect was found somewhat nearby in an open area, ravine-type area.
The officer who lost his life was a husband and father. Despite hopes for a strong rebound, growth in the U.S. economy was very sluggish again this spring. Government says strong consumer spending was offset by major weaknesses in housing construction. A person is dead, another hurt following two separate police shootings on Chicago's South Side, one near Marquette and May last night. About an hour later, a stop near 74th and Merrill resulted in a person shot and killed by police, that person trying to flee a traffic stop from a vehicle that was stolen in Bolingbrook. An inmate recovering following a hostage situation at the Cook County Jail. Two inmates held another hostage yesterday with a sharp object in a maximum security tier. The situation resolved several hours later by deputies. Cubs over the White Sox 3-1. Lackey over Sale, both threw effectively last night. The news service of 7-Eleven. Chill out this summer at 7-Eleven. When you get an ice-cold Big Gulp, you'll get a free one-day Redbox movie rental. This refreshing idea won't last long, and it's only at 7-Eleven while supplies last. Subject to additional terms, charges apply for additional nights. 8:34 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Here Maps. Hit the open road with free offline turn-by-turn guidance that works anywhere. Get it for your phone at here.com/offline.
Hi, I'm Tom Sadeka.
When you look at your time as Secretary of State, what are you most proud of? And what do you feel was unfinished? We'd love to have another crack at one.
Well, I really see. That was good.
Just sort of slide.
I'm Charlie Kirk, founder of
That's why he wins prizes. I really see my role as secretary, and in fact leadership in general in a democracy, as a relay race. I mean, you run the best race you can run. You hand off the baton. Some of what hasn't been finished may go on to be finished. So,
thank you, Charlie. What you're doing is so important. To learn more and help, go to tpusa.com. That's tpusa.com.
And for your business, let Precision Payroll make a difference for you. Call Tom at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507. Or online at precisionpayroll.com.
Thank you, Charlie.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm telling you right now, it's awesome. I was trying to get my blood pressure regulated, okay? And after 3 days of taking this thing, my blood pressure went back down to normal. I am ecstatic. I am so happy with this stuff. It is my savior.
Well, I had back pain for the last 40 years. 4 days after I started taking this stuff, it's gone.
This was the first summer that I have not had to have a steroid shot to help me to breathe.
The reason why I'm taking it because I've got Hep C. Once I began taking your stuff, it took a few months, but believe it or not, my liver enzymes are way down and it's normal now. It works.
Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code CHICAGO.
8:36 in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. The latest now with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Round Lake, there's a crash eastbound 120 at Cedar Lake Road. The Edens is all clear. Kennedy inbounds, though, Sacramento to the Burn Circle. 31 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 21 from Montrose, 18 in the Express. Outbound 10 minutes to Montrose, 30 to the airport. The Eisenhower, 47 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, 32 from Mannheim. Outbound, looking at 40 minutes to Thorndale. Make it 35 minutes now to Thorndale. Stevenson, 40 minutes either way between 355 and Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound now find at 15. Lakeshore Drive delays. Southbound 18th to the Stevenson. Northbound from Soldier Field to Jackson. Northbound Tri-State slow. The Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Eastbound Adams Tollway sluggish. Toohey to Lee. The other tollways are fine. Northwest Indiana delay free. Traffic answer is when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Partly sunny, not as warm today. Maybe an afternoon shower or thunderstorm and a high of 76. 73 at O'Hare. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by 1 Hour, together with Mike Rowe, encouraging you to choose licensed technicians to service your home. Call 1 Hour today, 855-1-HOUR.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy. So, Amy, you're familiar with the share economy, not just Uber and Lyft, but with respect to your home, like Airbnb.
Yeah.
Have you ever used Airbnb?
Oh, yeah, I've used it several times.
All right,
I
well,
love it. It's great. And I've been thinking about renting out my homestead, to Airbnb, because people on our block are doing it with their coach houses and apartments. So.
That's perfect, because those people on your block doing it probably preclude you from doing it. We're going to get a little education on how City of Chicago politics works here from a local attorney in Chicago, real estate attorney. His name is George Sato, and he founded an organization, a nonprofit called Keep Chicago Livable. It's keepchicagolivable.com, kind of spontaneously created by property owners in Chicago who thought they owned their homes. How silly. You don't
own my home.
No, you don't. The government owns your home, and they will let you operate your home so long as you do so at the prices they set and by the strictures they set, including as it pertains to participating in the share economy. That's the result of the ordinance authored by Tiny Dancer, passed by the 50 trained SEALs on the city council, that regulates your private property as it pertains to Airbnb and other services. George Sato, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan and Amy. Good morning.
Good morning. So explain the 58-page 25,000-word ordinance on Airbnb.
Who's going to read that?
Nobody on the city council, I'll guarantee that. Explain the thrust of the ordinance they passed regulating people's property and what they can do with it.
Yeah, I guess it basically it tries to force all home sharing hosts or vacation rental licensees to register and license with the city. And they have to decide which one they are, renting a vacation rental or shared housing house, which is interesting because the definitions for both are the same. And then if they do register, they are subject to very strict regulations, which include a duty to comply with Department of Health regulations for commercial kitchens, and which means you can't have a dog and yogurt in your fridge at the same time. It also it restricts your ability to rent if there are other people in your building that rent on other sites that you may or may not know about. It subjects you to $3,000 to $5,000 a day of violation penalties. You now, if you don't do your laundry, if you don't clean the towels, $3,000 penalty. If you don't wash and sanitize all your pots and pans after every guest, $3,000 penalty. This law is a gross invasion of your fundamental property rights.
Well, who comes in and checks to make sorry for interrupting. Who comes in to make sure that
then they're going to hit you with $3,000 fine for not being registered.
Okay, but who comes in to check to make sure my pots and pans are clean and that my towels are clean?
Ed Burke.
I mean,
have they decided yet who's going to be the police, the Airbnb police?
Yeah, the Department of Business and Consumer Affairs, if they hear a complaint about an unlicensed Airbnb or perhaps a licensed Airbnb that somebody in the neighborhood doesn't like or the alderman doesn't like, they will issue some sort of notice and demand an inspection. And if they come in and if they see something amiss, that's another violation on their ticket list.
We also have the kind of rent-seeking behavior afoot here. Hotel and Motel PAC, Illinois Hotel and Motel PAC, has given about $30,000 in donations to a number of aldermen over the last year. They supported this ordinance because they want to crowd out competition from private homeowners. And so the other thing this ordinance does is treat homeowners like hotels, subject them to the 17.4% hotel tax in the city. But in addition to that, it treats them worse than hotels because there's another 4% surcharge on top of the 17.4% hotel tax that short-term rentors would have to pay to the city, right?
Exactly. There's an additional 4% surcharge, and there are additional requirements that are put on Airbnb hosts that hotels don't have to comply with. For example, hotels, if there's criminal activity happening in a hotel room, the hotels can only be liable if they know about it. Whereas Airbnb hosts, if it just happens, they're strictly liable. Or if they suspect that it's happening, they are supposed to affirmatively call the police.
Wow. Now, how many? I mentioned that there's 2 homes, an apartment and a home that I know of on our street that are renting out, that are Airbnb. Is there a limit to how many people on a certain block can be Airbnb members?
It's not limited by block as much as it's limited by building, although there is an ability for the alderman to create essentially a residential restricted zone, so to try to limit the number of Airbnbs or home key or home away or flip key or VRBOs in a particular block, I guess, or in an area.
So, and I just want to understand that because you said something, but it needs focus. The aldermen. So the aldermen are empowered to say, oh, well, the ordinance doesn't apply to you. So we're protecting the feudal system in Illinois where we pass an ordinance, but everything runs through the aldermanic office to empower the local feudal lord to say, well, you can participate in Airbnb and you can't. So we'll create a carve-out for you, but we won't create a carve-out for you.
Exactly. That's one of the more, I don't know what the word is, the grotesque things about this law is how it creates this commissioner's adjustment, which has about, I'm looking at 9 different factors that the commissioner may consider, which are extremely vague, like the relevant geography, the legal nature and history of the applicant. And then it also says that the commissioner must solicit a recommendation from the alderman, the local alderman, one guy or girl, one guy, man or woman, not the entire city council. And within 60 days, that based on these very vague factors and an aldermanic recommendation, then the commissioner will make a decision about whether to make an adjustment. I think that creates a huge risk of discriminatory enforcement, if not a certainty of it. Friends of the alderman will be able to operate. People that are not friends of the alderman might not be so lucky.
So just in sum, your property's not your own. You want to rent it out. You're treated like a hotel, except more highly regulated. You pay taxes like a hotel, except you pay higher taxes. You're limited in who you can rent to, when you can rent, and how many of you can rent. And if you want special dispensation, you go genuflect before your local feudal lord. This is why it's the city that works.
The one thing that gets me is why are we penalizing harmless hustle? I mean, at the end of the day, this is just people using their own property in order to make something out of nothing.
And in order to pay
$34 million of economy directly to hosts and $209 million to the tourist economy in Chicago in 2015. And these are people that are doing that out of their own property, and they're not hurting anybody. And we're penalizing the fact that it takes work. You have to change a lot of sheets you have to buy things. You have to upgrade your place in order to have a good home, because if you don't, the market on Airbnb will punish you severely. It's just like Yelp reviews.
But the market will never punish you more severely than city government. And in addition to that, in terms of being penalized for doing something constructive and entrepreneurial, you're penalized for trying to deal with ever-escalating property taxes. So we're not going to let you come up with creative ways to deal with ever-escalating tax burdens as well. I mean, it's really... I'm so glad that you're spotlighting this. George Sato, Chicago-based real estate attorney. The organization, if you want to get involved, learn more, help advocate on behalf of private property in Chicago, keepchicagolivable.com. George, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Dan and Amy.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Some clouds today. I can't rule out a shower or thunderstorm today or tonight. But then your weekend looks dry, mainly cloudy on Saturday, a high of 76. And on Sunday, more sunshine than clouds, a high of 80 degrees. Let's get the travel times. Anything high on the roadways? Here's Jim Telemonte.
Things look pretty good, actually, Amy, for the most part. You're headed out of Chicago or some time away in Indiana or Wisconsin. Things are great right now in northwest Indiana, also southern Wisconsin. And the Edens Expressway is actually delay-free. The Kennedy has stop-and-go traffic Sacramento to the Burns Circle. It's getting a little heavier now. Perhaps some Lollapalooza goers are starting to head in. 35 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 30. The Eisenhower, just 43 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. 30 from Manheim, outbound 35 to Thorndale. Stevenson, 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38. Bryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound now clear. Lakeshore Drive, northbound heavy from Soldier Field to Jackson, southbound 18th to the Stevenson, eastbound Adams Tollway, just a little sluggish, Toohey to Lee. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
I have one. Do you? I'm talking about a MyPillow. It conforms to my neck and back. It's just really in a class all its own. That's why it's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. If you still haven't bought one, you should. You'll sleep better, and it's good for your health. It's washable, so it removes that dead skin, dirt, skin oils, dust mites, that can cause allergies, acne, and asthma. And you really deserve a washable MyPillow. It comes with a 10-year warranty, and it's an excellent health investment. So visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. Be sure to use the promo code Amy so I can get some credit. And you'll get 2 MyPillows for the price of 1. Great deal. Give one as a gift, keep the other for yourself, or just use them both, but do it now. 800-489-0201 or online at MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
From a single truck to large fleet, your business success depends on minimizing downtime for body and fender collision work, floor replacement, roofs, side panels, or bumper and hood damage. For over 4 decades, Chicagoland companies depend on Robax Truck and Auto Inc. Robax experienced techs average over 15 years with the company, offering pickup and drop-off service along with customer service second to none. Robax sees your job through. They believe customer satisfaction isn't everything, it's the only thing. That's why startup to Fortune 500 companies have depended on Robax for over 20 years. Robax also excels in box repair, truck body repair, and servicing of Morgan, Supreme Bodies, and other companies. So for a single vehicle or large fleet, call Robax Truck and Auto. Passion and dedication are the Robax tradition. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call Samantha at Robax today. Dial 847-981-9408 for info or a quote on your truck repair work. That's Samantha at 847-981-9408.
Hey, you've heard me talking about my good friends at Guardian Security Services for a few months now. And if you haven't called them yet, what are you waiting for? If you're unhappy with your door staff or on-site security officers at your gated community or residential high-rise, man, don't tolerate it. And certainly don't renew your contract for 2017. Instead, get a quote from Guardian Security Services. I put my name behind these guys because I love them and I really trust them. They only assign the most professional, highly trained door staff and security officers in all of Chicagoland. Schedule a free security assessment with my friends at Guardian Security Services. Get a contract quote for next year. Right now, call 708-385-3300. That's 708-385-3300. Tell them me, Joe Walsh, sent you, or go online at guardiansecurityinc.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and boy, what a treat this is. The man behind those very graphic
Salacious
reads that Amy does, David Hawber, Mortgage Whiz, joins us in studio, and it's kind of a shocking development.
What?
I had no idea that in addition to being a mortgage whiz, that David Hawber was also an upstanding citizen.
Yes.
Yes.
That's counterintuitive, but...
He's using his intelligence to help others.
It's true.
Finally.
It turns out to be.
Finally.
Turns out to be the
What's
case.
that all about?
Tell us, David Hawber, about Rags of Honor Realty.
Yes. Thank you for the opportunity. Rags of Honor Realty is a 501c3 organization that's based off of Rags of Honor, which is the company that hires homeless veterans to make silkscreen shirts. That's where I get all of my shirts from. Mark Doyle's a great guy. He's a personal friend of mine. We were sitting around one day after I was touring his facility and made a shirt order, and I was like, we got to do more. We have to help these veterans out more. What can we do? And he's like, well, there's a void for housing. I said, okay, let's come up with something. So we came up with this idea, and I brought Mark Slaby in from the Illinois Patriot Education Fund.
Mark, great organization.
Great organization, great people. So we got two solid people and me. He came together, according to Amy. He came together. What we decided to do was start a organization, kind of like Cars for Kids, but houses for veterans. And what we're looking to do is get a home, have homes donated to the organization. We will send you the tax certificate. We don't want to pay for the homes, obviously. We will go in and fix up those homes. We, through MegaPros Joe and sponsors of my show, we've got Permaseal. We'll do the basement and the plumbing. We have Tom Jenke from Builder Supply Outlet will give us all the supplies. I've got a bunch of tradespeople that will come in, fix up the house. We will either sell that house to a veteran or we will sell that house to the public, and we will take the profits from the sale of that house and split it in this way. 51% will go to veterans in the future that come to us for a grant for a closing cost credit.
Create like a fund.
A non-for-profit fund, because a veteran can receive up to a 4% credit for closing cost credit.
Really?
And it can, yes, on a VA loan, and it can come from a non-for-profit organization. 49%, the remaining 49% will be split between Mark Doyle's Rags of Honor that goes into housing shelters and pulls men and women out and give them a $13 to $15 an hour job making shirts. And the other half of the 49% will go to Mark Slaby for the Illinois Patriot Education Fund to help fund veterans and surviving spouses and surviving kids of veterans that want to go to college where the GI Bill falls flat.
Scholarships,
right.
But your main goal is to try to get a veteran into that home.
Our main goal is to get the veteran into the home, but if there's not a veteran that we could get into that home and somebody in the public is out there willing to pay for that house before a veteran steps up or qualifies for the home, we're going to sell the home so we could take the profit to put it back into the streets right away. Okay, but our first goal is to sell it to a veteran.
Have you sold any homes to veterans
Our first goal is to get a home. So that's why I'm here.
This just launched.
This just launched.
Okay. Right.
Okay. And there's a much bigger program out there that we're going to create a website where veterans could go to get housing information. And then if you use one of our preferred suppliers, if you will, that supplier will donate 10% of that job to the non-for-profit. So if you go buy a kitchen at Builder Supply Outlet, Tom Jenke will donate 10%. If you let Permaseal do your basement and say Rags of Honor Realty, Roy Spencer and Laura Ann Spencer will take 10% of that transaction and donate it. It's running through our companies. So there's zero overhead. We're not taking a salary. It's running through my office. It's running through Mark's office, Mark Doyle and Mark Slaby. So there's no overhead. 100% of the funds that come in are going out. We're not taking any salaries. There's nothing there. 100%. We take in 1,000. We're going to put 1,000 back on the street to help veterans.
That's great. It's a great idea. It's nice to see kind of people coming together that are trying to do some of the same things, help veterans, but in different ways, and then you achieve economies of scale. It's a great idea. The organization Rags of Honor Realty is their website.
You could go to ragsofhonor.com, ragsofhonor.org. And there's some information there. It's in the infancy stages. I'm coming on to radio stations like yours. Thank you for the opportunity to let people know what we're doing. If you have the biggest thing right now, I need a house. Okay. We need a house. If you have a home that you want to donate to a local organization that will put the money back locally, 100% of the profits will go back into the local economy, we need a house. So if you have a house in no repair, you inherited a house from your parents, your uncle, something. If there's a municipality out there, if you're a banker, and you've got a bank-owned property and you want to do something right for the community, donate the house to this charity. It's set up. It's a 501c3 organization. We're ready to go. I need the first house. Once we get the first house, guys, we'll take the pictures, we'll bring the media out, and we'll blow this thing up.
That's great. David Hochberg, Mortgage Wiz. You hear him on this show, you hear him on these airwaves, and upstanding citizen as well, as you've heard from this great idea that he's got and is pursuing with others who are similarly inclined. Rags of Honor Realty, ragsofhonor.org, ragsofhonor.com for more info, or you can call David Hochberg.
Just call me, 312-751-1333, 312-751-1333. I'll take care of everything.
David Hochberg, thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Attention market watchers. Until recently, the market hadn't seen back-to-back days of 500-point losses since November of 2008. What if you had no market exposure? What if you didn't have to worry about the markets? How would you sleep? Leave the volatility behind. Hi, this is Jack Taboda. Our proprietary income strategies provide reliable, inflation-protected income, guaranteed for life, with no market exposure. Call me at 630-777-7955. That's 630-777-7955. You've worked hard to build your wealth. I work hard to protect it. 630-777-7955.
Insurance products may be presented and guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the insurance company represented. Securities offered through Pro Equities Inc., a registered broker-dealer and member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Harvest Investment Services LLC, a registered investment advisor. Taboda and Associates and Harvest Investment Services LLC are independent of Pro Equities Inc.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com.